coming straight out of the game.
Yeah, nothing surprising on the attacking side. Definitely the floor destruction, the wall destruction. You got the people that are just going to do the killing in there. You got Blackbeard and Ash. Probably going to come from the flanks. It's going to be good. On the defensive side, we do have the Pulse coming out. Definitely popular lately, especially when you're guarding the Arsenal room, being able to look up into that kitchen floor, see when people are coming down into that bar drop. That's really useful intel, even if you're not using it to C4 or shotgun. Yeah,
so as you see, we got Falco and we got Spoken up here. They did the kitchen drop down, they've done the stock room, they've done the bar. Those three must-dos all the time. Now, most of the time your attacking teams will do the bar drop down, they'll do the stockroom drop down. Kitchen one, while being incredibly strong, as you mentioned, with a pulse sitting underneath it with C4 and a heartbeat sensor in his hand, very hard to successfully do that without getting yourself killed off. So we'll see if they give it a shot. It's a very high risk, but it's a very high reward if you can do it.
Definitely, it's sometimes worth just opening just to throw the thread in there and then get the heck out of that room. But that hallway is fair game, of course. You open up a lot of that floor in that hallway.
So Pojo Man, we see droning in through the garage, checking it's clear for himself before just gently peeking around the corner. Dropping this Blackbeard into that garage pit, the oil pit down there, and firing down that blue generator corridor can be incredibly powerful when you finally get ready for that push. We talked about how in the past, Clubhouse is very pivotal when it comes to this multi-pronged attack. You want to have pressure from all the different angles, and Blackbeard can hold this tunnel more or less solo because of that shield in front of his face and because of the nice angle drops inside the pit. So we'll see if he drops down there later on. But yes, the rest of his team still droning out the rest of the map, still droning out the upper floors, making sure there's no roamers lurking around, because Yunktis are a team that aren't unheard of to do just that. Leave one guy in one of the earlier rounds just to catch you by surprise, off in a corner which is very normally just undermanned or just completely ignored, because Clubhouse has become one of those maps where it's a 5-man basement defense.
Yeah, I think in this, normally I'd say you don't want to do a lot of droning on the operators in the drone phase, but in a map like this, knowing if there's a roamer or not can make a big difference. If there's 5-man down there, they're not going to rotate up late generally.
Now, so 6 squad you see coming back out of that construction tunnel now. He was dried up there deep. He's there in case anyone blows open that construction tunnel with his thermite. They can get in quickly and just maybe pick off one kill by surprising them by his presence. As it is, though, he's come back down to join as the bar drop down's been blown open by thermite. Now, I do believe he's gone over towards the stockroom. They're completely ignoring the kitchen and playing this safe. But Mint using that buck shotgun, destroying the corridor above and making sure they can get these angles down and in and start taking down the barbed wire and the things that are waiting for them in that corridor. Yunktis have heavily reinforced this front side from this main stairwell of both the church and the B-bomb site. So they're going to force and try and funnel the FlipSid attack in towards the backside, in towards construction, in towards the garage pushes, and just lock them in that tight space. Let's see what FlipSid are going to go with it. They're using the reinforcements to their advantage now, getting into this side corridor, getting up here, as you can see Mint here. He's got grenades he can throw over the top, which they need to do to get rid of these batteries.
Nice angle.
But easy peasy lemon squeezy opens this up with a good SMG 11 kill right down the end of the corridor. Yogurt peeks out trying to catch someone by surprise. Flashbangs going off as the grenades go over. They're going to try and catch Bandit out, make sure if he is on the other side, he doesn't hear the normal grenades coming in.
That's also a good hiding spot for them. They definitely need to get flushed out of that corner.
Yeah, and they've done just that. Renshiro now has to back away. They will get thermited open. We do now have access to that bomb site for FlipSid Tactics. Diffusers in exclusives hands, but they still haven't got too many kills onto the Yunktis team.
There goes the second one.
There we go, inside the garage pit. Picks up a kill onto Spoken, who was trying to rotate away.
That's their 2 fastest operators down, too.
Easy peasy's in and on the plant spot. Falco's right in the corner, and he's there with his shotgun to wait for exclusive. Tries to pick up with the C4, but Falco kills it before he can blow it off. Renshiro flanking around behind is going to take down King George, but the plant is going down. Renshiro's the only man standing. He does stop the plant, but now with Pojo Man all the way off the far side, inside the blue corridor, with 4 seconds, he's going to make his way back across church, and Renshiro's sitting on the diffuser. Pojo cannot get close, and round number 1 will go over to Yunktis.
That was a very close round at the end there. I hate to see when at the end of the round you got Blackbeard just too far away. It's a case where I find that Blackbeard tunnel push has to be coordinated much faster, and it can be difficult. As you mentioned before, without additional support, he can't push very fast down that tunnel. He ends up being someone that just controls the tunnel without a fast push, without being able to get that flank on that church room. You see what happens when trying to get that diffuser down.
Yeah, to be fair, he was even in some ways lucky to get the kill he did. FlipSid didn't need to peek onto him.
No.
Didn't need to be aggressively looking that way. Just had to hold it, make sure he's in flank around behind, at which point, if he'd done, he'd have been the guy exposed.
Yeah.
So to be fair, getting the kill that he did there onto that Yunktis player was a little bit of luck that he perhaps shouldn't have been granted. But either way, the result is the same. Renshiro with that shotgun, able to hide out in that tight corner right down to the end. And now, with that 1-round lead, it's time for Yunktis to attack, and they're running a more or less identical operator setup to do just that, except they're bringing a Thatcher here instead of an Ash.
It's a good setup. I'm surprised to see the Ash switched out. I mean, the aggressive moves in here are something you want to see, especially when attacking Armory. Being able to do those fast gunfights in such a big room usually pays off, or even being able to drop into the church drop and just start assaulting the room.
King George, by the way, you just saw him reinforce his kitchen trapdoor and then use his shotgun to destroy the floor on either side of that trapdoor. Why does he do that?
Being able to actually hear when they're going to make that thermite plant is super helpful. I mean, you can use pulse, sure, you can use the Valkyrie cameras, but being able to have anyone with C4 do it, like Smoke, for example, just it opens up a lot. And it just even hear when they're entering the room, because there's windows right there, they're generally going to break to get in.
Yeah, you can also straight up throw the C4 through the floor with those holes being made too. So it's not only does the sound work your favor, you can straight up just get up to the
There's
gap.
just such good angles from that hatch that's what you want to do. You want to prevent them from getting the hatch open, making them use the floor, so they have to deal with those wooden beams.
So Falco then has made himself a little entranceway here into the strip club and is now just journeying out, make sure it is clear and safe for him to go in. Yunktis has gone on the top side now that he's been told it's clear and safe. They are starting to get control of the bar inside, using this sledge as the forerunner.
They don't want the music.
Using that beautiful, beautiful skin here now that we're on home soil.
Support.
But they will then continue to drone their way down. There's a couple of drones still checking out the floors above, but they are aggressively in and taking control of this bar drop already.
There's not much you can do to counter the bar drop being blown other than having a roamer up there, so it's usually pretty straightforward. Just go ahead and blow that. Yeah,
but it is one of those things that, of course, if you can kill that thermite while he's on that, it is a huge, huge trade in favor of the defense.
Definitely.
So it's something that, even though it's so rarely done to leave a roamer to take that kill, something that the attacking team
I like when
always
it's done
have
from
to be
the
cautious
upstairs,
of.
when you got someone in the gym or something, just shoot him as he's planting.
Yeah, someone shooting through the floor, but not going to be attempted just yet. Yunktis using Renshiro, using this reinforcement to his advantage, not blowing it open completely, just using the angles that he needs. They've got 6 quad down and dropped in now towards the church wall, but just like Yunktis' own defense, it's been batteried up, it's been reinforced, so they need to try and shake those off. And while Mint is still quite close by, so he might still try and juggle. The EMPs are going to come down, but he's now far enough away that it is going to go off. Pojo Man has given him the call out for the right charge. The battery's going to go down, and it will catch the first charge. C4 comes out over the top and kills off 6 quad. The thermite's gone. He had used both of his charges anyway.
Counter.
But the man advantage going towards Yunktis here is very, very nice.
Good
once
punish.
they confirmed that he was definitely there, once they knew he was definitely close by, thanks to both the pulse and the battery going down, they could use that C4. Renshiro evening it out now, making it a 4v4 with the very last second shot onto Exclusive, the final round there from that Scar H, taking off Exclusive's face.
Took out the long range gap, but you got to deal with all these shotguns still.
Here's what Yunktis are doing though, and they did this all through the season, but all of their attack from both the bar drop and the stairs. They've got no one in this back corridor by blue. They are droning it now, as spoken. But they're just using it for the information. They know Easy Peasy is close by thanks to that drone being taken down, but it was killed off by his own grenade. Now they're pushing in, and Mint's shotgun, MA70 sitting in the corner. Does get one, but he's not ready for the second man. Wasn't aware of that man hiding around the corner. Pojo Man gets one. Now he's going to Hopping Center looking for the next one. It is Renshiro, and Yunktis is in here with him. Trying to C4 up and over. It's going to blow it. Does get one.
Just in time.
But Renshiro Desert Eagles him down straight afterwards.
So close.
It's
Nice
such a Yunktis way of doing this, which no one else seems to be able to make work. We talked about how, and we say it every time, Clubhouse, you have to have multiple angles of threat. You've got to have someone at the back, someone at the stairs, someone at the bar dropper. They will always send in one angle.
Yeah.
They came through, yes, they came down the stairs and they came down the bar drop, but they end up all funneling through that bar drop, through the memorial area, and into church, through that same doorway. But every time they do it, they somehow get away with it.
Yeah.
And still manage to swarm and overcome the attack.
It surprises me, but maybe it's just a case of when you push those other angles, timing is critical, right? When you get someone coming in from the construction tunnel, for example, they need to time it right so the enemy's looking the other way, or use it as a distraction. Maybe they just realize timing's not our key strategy. We just need to push in, push hard, fast, surprise them. You see him Buck, for example, transitioning to the shotgun there. Really helpful to counter their shotgun play as well.
Yeah. It's a novel little idea there as well by Mint using that M870 on Bandit, playing that very close spot inside church, playing very close to that memorial door. It does get him the one kill. It's very rare you'll see him not running MT7 because of how great that weapon is, but we'll
the church is a shotgun heaven.
Yeah. But as it is now, Yunktis are onto their second round of defense, having successfully held the basement. They have forced now upstairs. They're onto the bar and the stockroom dropper. Using one of their C4s to make a hole between the two bomb sites, they have got themselves a crawl hole there, but Yogurt's is going to leave up a little trophy system to cover the angle as well.
Little camera
Six
thrown on
Squad
candles.
does have a nice little spawn peek here outside through garage. It is known, but
dangerous.
it is very rare that you'll see players do it like this.
Oh, the drone
in
spots
professional play. Gets spotted by the drone, was going to give it a shot all the same.
Why not, right? Just scare him off a little bit. He's Rook. He can take a few hits if they manage to try and counter him. He's going to be slow, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a risk. Mint now sending in his Twitch drone as the second drone to spin him. Does give him a little bit of a love tap to push him away.
Looks like we're seeing the conventional attack here on the strip club, pushing the wall. Got the Blackbeard in there. I imagine we'll see it blown soon, and then the fighting will begin on that pool table.
Yeah, that is the beauty of this site. You either push everyone towards B in the stockroom, which becomes very small, close-range fighting. Shotguns are going to reign supreme. Or, as is becoming the more common strategy, you come here from strict up. You thermite open the wall, you use your Blackbeard across long range, and now look how far Yunktis are away from this bomb site. Rensure is the only man close, and he's going to have to try very, very hard to do the cover and provide cover he needs to let his team come in and back him up, while Blackbeard is just sitting there firing across the entirety of the bar with that safety of his shield and this sofa giving him cover.
I imagine we're going to see the usual two thermite trying to make that plant. He's already used his one thermite charge. That's all he really needs to use unless you want to blow the whole wall. So it's safe for him to just go in. He's a little more expendable. Try and make that plant happen. But I'd like to see Smoke or someone else try and counter that with some C4 or some smoke if they can stop him.
See what they've done. They cracked open a trapdoor up above. Falco is on the stairs heading towards the top floor. So if they do start swimming that top floor, which Ash is actually up there, Falco's going to go looking for it. He goes straight around the corner, gets a C4 off. Somehow gets back out without his head being blown off. King George missing those important shots and losing his life because of it. It means that top floor is now very much in Yunktis' control. Pojo Man has managed to answer with one onto Yorgos downstairs. Falco took a lot of damage here from Easy Peasy's SMG-11, but is still alive, and that's key. That shotgun on the stairwell could still be big here. Pojo gets another one onto Renshiro. Now Falco rotates into the kitchen just as Pojo starts to reload, and again gets lucky to stay alive.
You got to reload a lot as Blackbeard, so sometimes you can time it just right.
His Harvey's entering up to the floor, but Pojo is just picking them off as they're trying to rotate towards the site. FlipSid Steve Wing, very, very patient with that plant, not letting Exclusive go in yet. He's still just droning and checking a couple of angles. More holes being made in floors above. Spoken now still quite at a range. Mint very close to being directly on top of him, but not quite there. He is cautious of Falco coming up the staircase. Falco's going to have known and can, of course, see that Easy Peasy above him with a heartbeat sensor.
I think I prefer Buck playing up here the way Twitch is playing right now, but if Mint can make it work, then good for him. It's a good gun to use.
Yeah, he's used up 2 of his 3 breach charges just on holes in the floor. They're looking ready for putting Exclusive in for the plant. 20 seconds on the clock. Easy Peasy is looking to pin Falco into where he is, and he does get the kill onto Spoken, switches the main weapon and pre-fires Falco around the corner. 6 court now on the far side of the bar, has got every gun trained on him. FlipSid Tactics finally on the board with their first round.
The patience of that attack definitely showed off. They spent a lot of time getting those defenders out of their positions before making those kills, not pushing the plant early. Usually we see a lot more aggressive plant, and I think their patience really paid off there. It was well played.
Yeah. There was a lot of nerves mixed in things with the Yunktis defense. They knew as they started to lose players left and right, they had to start trying to regain at least some kind of equilibrium in the numbers. They had to try and get pick here and there. Couldn't quite make each of them work, and credit to FlipSid, every time they waited for that move forward, every time they made that little edge out to try and regain some control, FlipSid were there punishing them for it.
I mean, I like that they're trying to take control of the top floor again, because once you have control of the top floor, you could shoot Thermite from above when he's trying to make that plant. But I think it cost them a little bit taking control of that top floor, punishing a lot of their aggressive defensive attacks.
FlipSid, though, do have the luxury now of being back downstairs again for their next defense. They couldn't hold it first time around, but now they have a round on the board that's going to do wonders for their morale. They've definitely figured out a little bit about how Yunktis work. They've seen Yunktis defense down here, Yunktis attack down here once already. Can they adapt their play enough to deal with it? As we mentioned, they ultimately come down to being a very single file rush through one of the different entranceways, most commonly the bar or the main stair corridor. Can you be ready to hold this off this time? If Exclusive has stayed alive a little bit longer, the last defense, then the push from Yunktis would have been slaughtered as they try and come in through that stairway. He can just straight fire across the entirety of the church with his 416.
Yeah. I think this timing is going to really matter. Like, if they're going to do these multi-pronged pushes, they need to get their people in at the right times to force the defending team to look the right direction so they can get those flank kills.
So we're right on board with Falco again, as he's been talked about and been named the MVP of this squad. Once more, he drones and checks the strip club, and then we'll give the all clear for Yorgos to come in. Yorgos does so with Ash this time, rather than the sledge. They're keeping the Thatcher, which is important, especially as you saw the way they want to push him from church against Mint's bandits, so they're keeping that for that reason, but opting to go without the sledge grenades because Falco's 2 are enough.
Yeah, I think this was probably a little bit better lineup, although they did make it work last time.
Flashbang dropped down through the hole the minute the thermite charge goes off, and 6 court will go to continue his standardized peaks. Not surprising to see nobody there, but does get a little bit of information about some barbed wire waiting for them. Check underneath him. Sprays inside the rubble in case there's a frost trap. There isn't one.
Always common to see one hiding there.
Yeah. And here is Falco once again, making these holes down through the kitchen floor, this time from the freezer. Looking at the back angle, C4 comes up, does take him down to half health, but it's not killed.
Now it's risky for him to cross in there. That's the only problem with blowing a doorway like that.
Now he does get across the gap to safety as well. King George using that C4 up. Pojo Man sticking with his pulse over the other side by Church. Mint starts to put the battery down in one corner as the barbed wire starts to get edged out by Renshiro.
I like Blackbeard coming from this side instead, personally.
Just survives that shot there from King George. He didn't have his eye on the ball, but none of the shots land. He knows Exclusive's around to the other angle, but Exclusive this time is keeping his head a little bit more disciplined. Gets that away luckily, but Mint is still successfully battery juggling here from 6 quart.
Like they changed stances there to make it a little bit harder to try and get that head tap.
More EMPs coming out. Pojo Man is still feeding info to Mint. Flashbangs are going to come out, and it's going to actually fail and completely blind Renshiro. Another EMP. It's going to be the last one. Mint's going to have how many batteries left? He can't have too many. He's lost a few of them. That one does get another charge, though, and there's a lot of damage being put down onto 6 quart and Falco just because they're standing next to the wall.
Good battery play.
Yeah, charge is going to go down. Is the battery ready? No, this time he's going to have to back away. They do finally get one open, but it's not the ideal plant spot. And now Pojo Man is going to have hit in the corner. Diffuser dropped inside Memorial with only 30 seconds left on the clock. This is looking really good for FlipSide's defense now. Exclusive staying alive longer has done key things. Everyone pushing from the same angle from Yunktis.
Nice
with his
shotgun
MS-70 doing work this time on Yogas. Now Falco's going to try from the same angle. Pojo Man's got his heartbeat sensor. Mint gets himself another kill. Yunktis this time cannot get anywhere. Exclusive getting himself another one. Frenchiro is all the man alive. He's got 10 seconds on the clock. And Mint picks up his third of the round. FlipSid Tactics, you talked about it in the start, adapting beautifully.
That's the way they need to do it. You know how they're going to push. They didn't change up really what they were doing much on attack other than switching up an operator. Still push that same side. Mint, with the batteries, just delaying the heck out of them made a huge difference. Just holding them down, keeping them back, slowing them down. So they had to make such an aggressive push in that last 30 seconds. Drop the diffuser, just having to panic, force Blackbeard to go towards the Memorial Room. And Mint with that short-range shotgun, you can't do much as Blackbeard against that. That's the beauty of forcing Blackbeard into a situation like that. You pull out a shotgun that, sure, it only works at 2 meters, but it's lethal at 2 meters. I don't even think it matters where you aim at Blackbeard at that range. Just point at him and he just dies. It's like an elephant gun at that point. So it was a really good adaptation. Let's see if Yunktis could make the same kind of adaptation against FlipSide.
Yeah, so Yunktis back down into the basement themselves now. They did successfully hold their first time over, and they did, of course, get that 2-round lead. But now that things are starting to fall apart, we are back to a 2-round apiece scoreline. See from the kill spread there that Yunktis still got a couple of stragglers, but they're beginning their standard setups as before, sending Ian Shearer upstairs with a couple of cameras. They are bringing a castle into the mix for their defense here, though. Instead of that bandit. They went with the bandit because they know that FlipSide don't run a Thatcher.
Yeah.
But FlipSide showing that they can still take those batteries out, still get that wall blown regardless. So this time around, bringing the castle instead to give themselves a slightly different way to play.
The castle is nice for slowing them down. It generally doesn't do a whole lot because there's usually a sledge, as you see here, and an ash. So you're going to get those breach charges, their belt ones taking it out. You're going to get the sledgehammers taking it out. Does force them to play a little more carefully and let them know you're coming.
Easy peasy was in the middle of hammering that wall open just as he sees a man dart across from kitchen. As a result, misses the shots and lets him get away with his life. That would have been an important pickoff for the FlipSide attack if they made it happen.
But timing.
Now they've got to be cautious that there might be someone else lurking around too. You can be unsure.
That's the beauty of throwing one roamer up there. Right now they're questioning, wait, how many people are downstairs?
So, castle barricade there on the memorial door. There's going to be one, I suspect, here underneath Pojo Man and the pit garage. Check in for the Valkyrie cameras on their way through as they do start to bring him down towards the front staircase.
Looks like, yeah, they're going to go with staircase this time instead of the blue, and I think that's going to be better for them.
Pretty sure there's no way for him to get through the castle barricade Spoken's put there.
Yeah, other than meleeing it 12 times, right? Definitely a slow attack.
But to be fair, he has the time to melee that 12
yeah.
times. Look how long it took for him to actually show himself the last time they attacked here. While the rest of his team is working the front end, he could be punching that open.
I still think I've seen better play on the hallway attack, though.
So, they do get that bar drop down opened up. No surprises there. They still have one thermite charge in tow to hold.
See if they decide to blow storage instead.
They can, of course, hammer this memorial door open, but it's going to be a risk to make sure he doesn't get shot from within church while doing it. Now we see Pojo Man peeking down the corridor. Last time around, Yogas peeked out very aggressively and gave him a nice early kill, which was the first one for FlipSide. But like we saw from Exclusive last round, everyone is learning to be a bit more patient and disciplined now.
I guess the upside too of picking castles, even if you don't slow them down too much, you've got another shotgun, and we've seen how critical shotguns could be once they get downstairs.
Falco's still underneath the kitchen floor, heartbeat centering up and above, and he's cautious of the shots coming down, but safe for now. He's watching through. He's got that C4 hole up and above the reinforced wall there. It does come over and tags close. Takes it easy peasy and Exclusive down incredibly low, but the two of them are still standing, and that's what counts. Exclusive still got one C4, one thermite charge in his hands. They're going to start battery, flashbanging over the top and in towards church, and can now start to crack that wall open.
It's unfortunate it's too risky at this time length for them to actually reset themselves.
Easy with no grenades left. He's just there watching church, and here comes the flank now from Falco. He's gone up and over.
Nice.
He's hard-breeding his way in. That's
this is going to be crucial.
King George, though, is still here inside the church, inside the bar. Falco, as a result, has got to go around the outside. He will have got away. He's going to come down the back of the stairs. He's dodged through. Pojo Man's getting one, but he's going to get one down. Comes around the back for another one. That's the diffuser down, and the timing is enough.
That flank.
The flank is beautiful. Falco showing why he's dubbed as MVP for this team.
That was exactly what you need to do when the team expects you to be all downstairs. Oh, they're all going to be downstairs. Wait, there's Roamer. Oh, maybe he went back, rotated back to site. No, he's going the long way around to shoot your whole team in the back.
What's perfect is King George was left up inside the bar. They had Ash upstairs waiting for that very flank play. But he went around it. He went through the stockroom, went in towards kitchen instead of going through the bar.
That's what makes Pulse a strong roamer, right? He can identify where they're at and actually rotate around them. So they could wait for him all day, but if he knows they're there, it's not going to do any good.
The best part is there was a Valkyrie camera in that bar from earlier on.
Yeah.
It's exactly where, but it was placed up there, which is what allowed him to know Ash was in there. And even though we saw FlipSid check in everywhere on their way in, they couldn't find that camera.
It's too bad that camera doesn't work as some kind of motion detector to alert them there's someone there, because you got to be actively checking it.
Yeah, but they did. They actually checked it. They gave the information spoken inside that blue corridor because Pojo Man didn't come down that way. He could just sit on that camera the entire time.
Yep.
And was able to feed that information over for the flank. Now, FlipSid Tactics are up to defend the bar themselves because they are stuck upstairs.
Attackers have recovered,
and we've already seen how tough this is to defend from Yunktis' part. Let's see if FlipSid's tactic is any better. They've got a couple of reinforcements upstairs. They're leaving some open by the bar, but they've also reinforced this pool table door.
I'd like to see if Yunktis take a different attack strategy than what we expect generally.
Well, they have already spawned in 6 quad around here by the garage, which is very different to the way FlipSid went for the attack. Are we going to see a B push here? Let's find out.
FlipSid's probably not as prepared for a B push given the meta that's been in NA. They're going to be a lot of them watching the other side. And as you said before, the long-range fights can really kill the bar in here. If they're prepared on the wrong side to defend that, that could really hurt them.
So as it is, 6 quad is going to come and blow in from the garage. We've got King George with a shotgun inside the B room itself. But he currently seems to be the only man. Easy Peasy is close by to the B-bomb site, but with no hole made to crawl between the two. Actually, might have trouble joining that fight.
I like them using the upstairs. They're here to their advantage, though.
Blowing Falco, making the holes in the cash room floor, looking down onto the B site. This has already forced the Valkyrie to move away and reposition, and now with no hole between the sites made open too, they have got the superior strong position. Now there's a hole between the bottom half of that site, and we can see.
The nice thing is if you get the diffuser down here, it's super easy to shoot them in the head when they're trying to stop it.
Yeah, now not only do FlipSid have to worry about the man with the plant, they have to worry about taking that top floor back if they want to go for a defuse.
I think if they can get it down here, the Yunktis might just take this.
So they're going to continue droning and figuring out where the rest of FlipSid are. They don't actually have to kill them all if they want to get this plant, but Ranchero will start us off by taking down Exclusive.
Why not?
Falco finds one inside the kitchen, does begin to spray through the window, just to keep him pinned in that corner.
Yeah, you definitely want to worry about that kitchen flank.
Ranchero, having come down the staircase, picking up that first kill, will also be able to cover the man and pin him inside kitchen. If he tries to sprint out that doorway, he's going to be ready. Playing it safe.
He's definitely going to have to watch those angles. If someone runs upstairs on him, for example, with a shotgun, they might not be able to turn to him in time, but they got to know he's there.
Easy Peasy takes down Yogurts. Taking a lot of damage himself for it, but it will help slow the attack. Falco with the diffuser is outside the kitchen, and the flashbang will go off right in the face of that defender inside.
They're really going to start making some progress on that B side with 48 seconds left. Can't spend all their time just attacking this kitchen like this.
3 flashbangs right on Pojo Man's face. Falco will get the easy kill, while 6 will now use his next charge right next to Easy Peasy here behind the bar.
Oh, that's going to hurt if they blows on him. He's going to have
going to hear it go, but he's got to turn and run. Stands up to try and get out, but it's not enough time. Spoken was already staring right at him. 6 does get killed off in the kitchen, though. King George grabs one, Mince grabbed one, and this is still a 2v2, but the plant is going down inside the stockroom. Falco's got one. He's got to get outside this door, but the guys come out from the kitchen. Spoken's ready, though. King George is downed.
He's trapped in this corner.
Min, however, does trade straight back onto King George. Now Falco's the last man. He's got the diffuser in hand, but he comes around behind Min.
And there goes that buck.
FlipSid Tactics came very, very close, but could not hold it at the end. Falco
That was a surprisingly late
aggressively.
push. I think they lost a little too many people fighting that kitchen. I mean, obviously you can't just leave that kitchen open like that, but maybe they could have just had Blackbeard watching it at that point, not spent so much time, so many operators just fighting back and forth. Getting that plant out would have forced most of them out, and having Buck upstairs instead of downstairs wouldn't have made that such a risky last move. But you know what? It worked for them, and we've seen a lot of good Buck play from an operator that just wasn't really used for a while.
Oh. We do finally start to see another lead opening up here for Yunktis, having successfully attacked that site. They are 1 round away from taking the first map.
We're going to have to see if FlipSid can really do some more of that adaptation if they want to stay in this, because if Yunktis take this one, then it's over for this map for them, and this is their map that they're strong at.
However, this is the bomb site which FlipSid did get their first round win on. They could be bringing this to 4-3 here, unless Yunktis have figured out what they did wrong in their first defense, and if they have to, and how.
Yeah, the question is, are they more used to defending the attack they just did, or are they most used to defending the meta of attacking the club? I mean, they know that that's probably coming. I don't think you're going to expect something totally different from FlipSid here. It's a strong attack. It works very, very well. There's very little reason to change unless you screw it up.
6 court looking to spawn kill again. Spoken doing the same thing. He does give up once he sees no footsteps and reinforces the wall. 6 court looking for a similar kind of angle, but sees nothing at the moment because Easy Peasy and FlipSid are all spawning over the very far end.
He definitely likes to
looking
use
for that
rook.
strip club push.
You know, it's like I said, he's a tanky operator. If you can make an easy pick, take it. Otherwise, he's going to be slow to rotate back
the
in sight.
MP5 at that kind of range is a very easy, accurate weapon.
Low recoil really pays off when you're going for those long-range shots. Sure, Jaeger's gun could be really good, but if you miss those shots, the recoil is brutal.
He's looking for the rappel. He knows they're on that edge. They haven't shown himself elsewhere, so they've got to spawn to that distance. The cameras would also have been fed to him from team.
They might not
Still
even
very
be droning
cautious
that.
and comfortable with this.
Yeah. Cash room is one of those spots that people either drone or they don't, and if they don't drone it and you know they don't drone it, you can hide in there very well, like you're seeing here.
So here we see the attack coming in over towards the strip club instead, though. They do start getting the walls opened up. Mint, there we go, takes down Spoken as he tries to rotate back down from within the cash room. Mint is underneath it, being that man causing issue, but 6 Core's going to come down and try and find him as Yogus will take that easy peasy.
Nice kills going down.
Pistols down Renshiro. Exclusive finishing off Falco elsewhere as well,
Rook
and we
needs
now
to get
start
back to
seeing the push coming through from F3.
With Rook all the way upstairs there in cash room, this is going to be brutal for Yunktis to get back and rotate with just Jaeger left there.
Yeah, Mint's inside the bar already, and that's why 6 Squad does need to get the backside of Mint, as they weren't ready for another man to be upside in cash room. So it is back to a 2v3, but now that they know Mint is off in the, the 6 Squad is off in that far distance, Exclusive is looking for the rotate cover.
They've got to make this push quick.
Got to find Yogurts. They don't know exactly where he is, and they're cautious of 6 Squad still in the garage. He is now about to peek out behind Pojo Man, who was sort of unaware.
Almost tags him in time, but he is the fastest.
Yogurts as he sprints back across the bar. Looking for that hole in the garage, and again, he's cautious of it. He knows it's there, but 6 Squad has not quite peeked out of it just yet. Exclusive has the diffuser and is playing very now patiently out towards the kitchen door.
They've got a minute left to play with. It's a lot of time in this particular situation, so hopefully they can use it to at least pick off one more of the defenders before they make their move. Especially if it's 6 Squad, pick off the strongest defender in terms of being able to soak up damage.
Yogus and 6 Squad now both very much by B. King George is inside the little stock room. Yogus going to jump out and come around behind him in through the window. They're going to leap into each other. King George was ready though. Yogus gave his position away by sprinting like that. He didn't realize King George had already got inside. He thought he was still out there.
Now they just need to make the push and have Blackbeard cover solid. This should be an easy plant for them, provided they don't get totally flanked.
And there is the plant. It is down inside B.
And
they were ready for 6 Squad outside the window. And there it is. FlipSid once again successfully attacking the bar, getting themselves another round on the board, bringing it 1 round closer to overtime.
I like that they didn't just go with the usual push. They started to do it, but then they noticed, hey, there's people out here in different positions than we're used to. We need to change up what we're doing and start coming around the sides, using those flanks. And they successfully adapted. That's what they needed to do to stay in this game.
Yeah, this time they sent Mint around from the garage, came in through the garage, and just completely caught Yunktis by surprise. They were focusing their defense, focusing towards the players they had seen, towards everyone they knew were coming from Strip Club. Mint managed to get in the back and just drove himself a wedge in between the defending players.
Yeah, I like how we see both teams using those long flanks that time. That's what good teams do, right? Taking advantage of the blind spots of the other team.
So, FlipSid Tactics then. Trying now to defend this basement site once more. They've had mixed success down here, but Yunktis on attack are going to feel confident because they only need the 1 round before this map is over.
Unless they're going to change it up. I mean, FlipSid's got to be expecting that push on Church again.
Yeah, so far Yunktis have done very much the similar thing twice. We do see exactly the same defensive operators selected here by FlipSid. Let's see if Mint is still running that MA70 though, or if he's running something a little bit more familiar with that MP7 on Bandit.
I hope we see Pojo Man here using that pulse to actually try and identify which way they're coming from so they can rotate fast enough to adapt as they need to.
exactly what he's got set up. He's sitting in that very similar spot. They're going to use that Pojo Man heartbeat sensor for the battery play again as well. Once more, Spoken is bringing himself Thatcher. Yogurt's bringing himself the Ash as well then. So once more, they're still deciding that the extra grenades that Sledge brings to the table are not worth it. They'd rather have Ash's weapon and Ash's strength in firefights.
Let's see if they can get a good feel of which each team figuring out where the other one's at, where they're coming from. It's definitely going to be like, can you guys change up what you're doing fast enough with only 2 minutes left right now?
So Spoken this time heading towards the garage pit. Don't actually need his hammer skills in there this time, but we'll see if they drop.
I bet Thermite wishes he had those grenades right about now.
Attackers have recovered their
Here's just check the same spots, chain angles, make sure no one's there for a cheeky pre-fire, and does ultimately feel it safe, then heads back on up, saving that extra charge, of course, for within this tunnel downstairs.
Looks like Falco likes to buck a little more conservatively, just smaller holes, better angles, not opening up so much of the floor to expose his own feet.
Well, he knows that hole's there because they've done it every single round for that C4 up and over the top every time. So he makes one hole to look down through it himself.
That's a great counter.
And now he can just sit there and make sure they can't throw that C4 up and over. Exclusive down at the end of the corridor again, now has to face off against Rensure, but as soon as he sees him, realizing it's time to start playing, very, very cautious. He saw the damage he did last time around, but he needs to stay alive to make that done. And here it is, same thing again. We now see that dance. Rensure looking down towards the end of the corridor. He's in that barbed wire, and Exclusive staying himself in.
We're used to seeing Ash on that barbed wire, but they're definitely meleeing it successfully.
Yep, when they can get in, cover it safely. We now see 6-Quart teasing Pojo Man with that heartbeat sensor. King George and Exclusive both still inside B, looking to cautiously throw up and over that C4. But up and above, Falco is still there ready, waiting and watching.
A minute in, no kills.
Flashbang goes in, does blind them both out, so they can't throw up and over. Falco now peeks it while they're blind and does confirm that it's safe and clean. Spoken's going to EMP down. Now they're going to go for that thermite charge. Ash begins spraying in the backside, but Falco's taken out by Exclusive, so that's the upstairs trouble gone. Oh, charge is going to get blown open. Rensure moves around, gets Exclusive in the side. Double C4 from Pojo Man could be the round. Spoken and Rensure are now the two members of Yunktis that have to find 4 kills if they want to end this. Easy peasy outside in blue has got a good angle here inside towards Memorial, but that shield in front of Rensure's face will keep him alive. 25 seconds on the clock, and Spoken now looking down towards the main corridor, has to sprint in through in towards Church, but they have opened up. Rensure starts spraying at the backside. Still, Mint sitting very close with MA70. He's low health, but he has a shotgun in hand. Around the corner comes Mint. Pojo Man gets the other one, and FlipSid Tactics force themselves in overtime.
That shotgun definitely working out for them, especially against Blackbeard every time. Mint's got to feel good about that choice. That was a solid defense. Now we're really bringing it to a tie here, 4-4, overtime. Can FlipSid take the map that they're good at and show Yunktis, you know what, we may be the second place team in North America, but we're not really a second place team. We can adapt, we can bring it back. And then Chalet is a strong North America map as well. I think if they could take this, put Yunktis on a little bit of tilt, they might be able to come in very strong on Chalet. I'm expecting a really good matchup here. Hopefully we get all 3 maps in here and end up on Consulate.
I would not be surprised to see all 3 maps here. These two teams are already showing that they have some very, very evenly skilled players and very well thought out strategies. And as you mentioned, Chalet being our next map is another one which just really, really benefits teams that can learn and adapt on the fly. Yeah,
we're going to see a lot of
teams have already shown they can do. I'd argue FlipSid a little bit better, to be completely honest. They have adapted their defense more drastically round by round.
Especially saw last round. You saw the previous 2 rounds where they defended the basement, that they adapted really well to Yunktis.
So now it is, however, FlipSid back on defense again. Yunktis having just come up against this in a very fresh setting.
There's those holes again.
Got to think up something new.
You got to put them on either side because there's only 2 sides for you to come from as Thermite, and putting them on either side like that makes it very obvious which side he's coming from. Really using the map to your advantage in the terms of like the things being blocked off by those kitchen counters in that island.
So last couple of reinforcements being done by King George upstairs, and before he heads on down again, he's of course thrown up 3 of his cameras upstairs. See whether or not they are found out by Yunktis as they come and make their way in. Same setup for the 5 attacking operators Yunktis have chosen.
Looks like, they win again with the Ash instead of the Twitch or anything like that. Just keeping it aggressive. I mean, that Thatcher definitely being important because they want that church wall. I'm surprised to see them not just say, forget going that church wall, forget using that Thatcher. Let's bring something else. Let's come from a different side and attack a little more aggressively. But they've got the way they want to attack, and they're going to stick to it and just try and play it better than the other team.
So they do get in quickly. They're now very confident that no one is left upstairs and roaming for the FlipSid defense. They know exactly where they're going to find them all, and sure enough, there they are, exclusive with King George in and underneath the kitchen drop down inside that B site.
Interesting to see
the
them
Pojo man inside church.
Playing in the tunnel, but using it to shoot into church.
Yeah. Inside. Well, that's why you'd argue that you always need to send someone through, and normally Blackbeard, because of how safe he can be, just in through that garage dropper, just so that Easy Peasy doesn't have that freedom of movement within blue.
Yeah, keep him pinned down. Use those kill holes against him once you attack church if you can.
Yeah, exactly. Renshiro now firing preemptively in towards the backside of B in case he might get a lucky headshot on exclusive. We do see Yunktis very much spread out upstairs a little bit more now than they were before.
They're really letting Blackbeard into this area too easily, though.
Yeah, well, they're happy to let everyone in. They know they're going to be pinned in that spot once they do go through. And so as a result, we'll just wait for them to lock themselves in there.
It's so hard to get through that church door with all these shotguns.
For the moment, yeah. Well, they're going to peek around again. So far, no one inside blue really making themselves aware.
If they can get in there and stay in there for just a couple seconds, they might be able to hold this.
Easy peasy now. Using that cruel hole from church inside the blue. Actually be safer inside the church itself. There's two people now inside the memorial going to move forward. And he's not aware. He exposes his backside to it. And it's an easy kill for Renshiro.
Standing on the table, not the best idea right there.
Not aware that Blackbeard was in there yet, and he's not aware the 6 squad's in there. They're focusing a lot towards the blue corridors. They can feel the push from Yunktis coming that way now instead.
Mint's pretty weak.
A lot of shots going through. More flashbangs coming in now from the memorial towards church. Yoga's pushed in towards blue. Got a shotgun waiting for him in one side, but King George's already taken a lot of damage. A bit more from that grenade. Yoga's gets mint now as well.
A lot of pressure.
Final kill for exclusive is back on the wall. King George grabs Spoken as well. Now they're going to rush in. They do trade it down, but it's for a kill. Ash this up. King George taken down. Pojo man gets 6 squad now coming from the far side, and Blackbeard is the only man standing. He's going to see exclusive, and it's a free kill, but it's the information now handed over to FlipSid for Yunktis' position.
Mint's gone. He can't get this kill this time.
The diffuser is sitting right on King George. All King George is going to sit there and just wait for Renshiro to come his way. Pojo man is inside the church. He's just following him in the heartbeat since he's stuck in the barbed wire. They know exactly. All they've got to do is hide for 5 seconds. King George picks out behind him with a deagle. And it's an easy kill to give FlipSid Tactics a successful defense and the first round of overtime.
Well played. They let them get a lot of good progress on there. They were really putting that pressure on church, but they just couldn't get in there. Blackbeard's not the best person to walk in there. The shotgun's his worst enemy. They need someone to be able to get in there, put enough pressure on that utility side so they can crossfire. Otherwise, it's just not working because as soon as they come around that corner, they're just getting shot every single time. Sure, they got the one guy on the table, but what good did that really do them in the end when they just walk in and get deagled? It was nice to see
new attempt from Yunktis. They gave it a slightly different push, trying to send players down in from the construction tunnel, but by sending 3 players down that same route, King George just cuts them apart with the shotgun, and exclusive once again this time around, keeping his head in, staying alive, and not sticking it inside Renshiro's crosshairs, meant that even though he gets down at the end there and didn't get most of the kills, he was enough of a distraction that King George could just fire on the side of him. Shotgun or anything right at that point. MPX would have done the same job. Firing into the side of an unaware player, you're going to get a free and easy kill every single time.
I think they really need to come up with a better counter to the shotgun play in that church, and they're just not doing it.
So, even with that one free kill onto Easy Peasy, standing in the middle of the table of the church itself, he couldn't make it work.
Yeah, not the best table dance for him right there.
So there is Renshiro's camera upstairs in bar. That's the one that would have given them Ash's position last time around and given Falco that beautiful flank. Once again now, Yunktis are running Spoken on Castle. He's put one here by the Memorial Tunnel. They are only doing the one reinforced there on the side of Armory this time instead of doing 2.
Have to do it.
No, they've already shot kill holes in it. They're going to try and use those kill holes to shoot any thermite or whatnot that's inside that corridor and trying to breach. So it's a slightly different defense coming out of Yunktis here, yet again.
Let's see if they can actually make it work. I mean, they've done something similar to this in terms of the castle and stuff like that before. Didn't work so great, but they know what to do this time. I don't think we're going to see a lot of different attack from T3 or FlipSid this time.
FlipSid are switching up their attack already by sending 2 people in towards the garage. One of them is Blackbeard at the moment. We'll see if he stays in there or if he rotates towards the stairs. Nope, staying in there. They're sledging open the tunnel.
Hopefully Sledge stays with him this time. With a 2-man push here, you can do a lot more damage because you can have one guy hold an angle on the door while the other guy clears out the guy out of utility.
Oh, right now, there's just Spoken sitting close by. He's going to throw out these flashbangs to take down the trophy system. That's now redundant. But all Pojo Man has to do is sit here and wait until the push comes in from the other side by his team now. As soon as Yunktis are distracted by the push down the stairs and the push from the bar dropper, that's when he moves forward and he'll shoot people in the back, or at least just draw attention away.
Yeah, he really needs to do that.
But until this push is ready, he just has to sit and wait. So now it's a case of relying and putting some trust in the rest of his team. Or, of course, if Yunktis want to stick their head out into his crosshairs, getting a little bit lucky.
Yeah, why not? Just come take a peek, see if it's Blackbeard there.
So there is the second thermocharge being used on the stockroom dropper now, so they are going to go for a push possibly towards B. Getting inside church now is going to be a little bit tougher for them. They can't get through that front wall, so they'll have to go through the doorways.
Well, this is going to be bad for
ducking
Spoken.
down behind inside blue. The trophy system's already been taken out by those flashbangs, remember, so he can throw grenades straight down into there if they can get Spoken's position.
If they can just pinch him out between Mint and the Blackbeard here, it's going to be very hard for Spoken to stay alive.
There's the drone going down. He's going to have spotted Spoken in there. Here's the first grenade getting cooked. Immediately cancelled out, cooked again, though. Just to make him scared, just to give him the sounds of it. Now the flashbangs are going to come in to hide the sounds. The grenade's going to follow afterwards. Exclusive's going to drop straight onto Mint's grenade. Now Spoken begins to pre-fire Pojo Man. And all we needed was a little bit of pressure here, but the entire attack from FlipSid is coming this way. And it just seems to be tripping over each other's toes.
I don't think they were prepared to do this push as well.
Now the push is coming in from the front side. Pojo Man does get a kill onto Yoga's inside church, but the C4 comes out and does take him down quickly afterwards. King George has grabbed a kill from the front stairs onto Spoken in exchange, and it is still a 3v3, but the health advantage is in Yunktis' favor. 25 seconds on the clock, and Falco makes it 3v2 by taking down Mint. Now Easy Peasy and King George are going to rotate around, but they've got to pick up the diffuser as well. 6 quart right at the back of the B side. Falco is ready for King George's drop. 6 quart at the angle on Easy Peasy. And it's an easy finish for Yunktis. We saw FlipSid try something new, but they could not make it work.
It started so good until they naded their own teammate, and it just fell apart from there with the C4 and Blackbeard. Them just trying to push fast after that point, trying to recapture whatever ground they gain, and they just lost it too fast, one operator at a time.
So, FlipSid Tactics back onto defense, but they cannot use that basement now.
No, and
they are onto the floor above in the bar in the stockroom. And now last time they did this, Yunktis used a very new, different way of attacking it and picked them off one by one. They were very powerfully singling out the defensive operators inside the kitchen and then inside the B stockroom itself and just decimating that floor of the cash room. What did FlipSid learn from that, and what are they going to do differently?
I think they need to stop that cash room push. I think they need to stop, or at least make it a lot harder for them to take that cash room and open up the top of it, because once they do that, it becomes a little bit easier for them to do the rest. You know, just slow them down in that beginning of that strategy, assuming they're going to use that same strategy. That kitchen flank was nice, though. It did help delay a lot of their attack, took out a lot of their operators, but they're going to need to make sure that they can hold it and not just trade tons of operators there. They may even be able to use the cash room or the kids' room, the bedroom upstairs, to be able to come out, surprise them, jump out a window or something like that. But it's going to really come down to timing.
So the only problem here is if you go from the bedroom across towards cash room, you do get detected. You can't do it in 2 seconds.
You got to be on top of it.
So you've got to have at least some other kind of interesting or some other kind of action to distract people that are inside the cash room and let you get in there without them being ready for it. So we'll see whether or not that's the case. As it is, Yunktis a little bit more spread out with their attack coming in from a couple of different spots, but it'll ultimately focusing on the garage side, focusing on that B side. Heartbeat sensor will detect Ranchero right down underneath Pojo Man now outside that freezer doorway.
Good for him to confirm which side that attack is coming from after all.
Once again, they're outside this kitchen window to spray a little bit of a hole in towards the stockroom. Just gives himself an angle in.
I think that pulse could be really critical.
Right underneath, and the shotgun will blast down on top of his head, but only doing a third of his health. Ranchero now got to be a bit more cautious, but ultimately is still alive and is really thankful for it. Every time he rotates around towards this doorway now, he's going to be watching the window. So yes, Pojo Man sees another opportunity, but that shield is going to be ready for him.
Yeah, that alone was still worth doing, though. Put a little bit of fear in him.
Yeah, slows him down, gives him a knowledge that there's a man on the stairs, and that means they have to play around that now. 6 quart inside the garage once more, does blow this wall open. He's got teammates on the floor above. Once again, Falco is in the cash room, cracking that floor open down on top of King George. But this time, King George hasn't had to run out of the B site. He was forced out of there before. He's still in there this time over.
It looks like they let Buck get upstairs, get into that cash room. It's not going to be a good start for them.
George holding his ground within the bomb site, despite the room above being broken open. Now he dropped down through the floor and into the garage dropper. So that B site is opened.
I'd like to be able to see at least a C4 counter on them, knowing that the whole floor is wood, but it's hard with that timing with him running circles around that room, obviously trying to make sure he doesn't stay static and get C4'd.
So Pulse once again in the stairs. He's now going to track Ranchero inside the kitchen. The drone is here to help Ranchero out, though. We'll give him an early warning if anyone's trying to push him, but the knowledge that he's in here is going to be big for the defending FlipSid team.
Definitely critical to be able to counter this, is to get that Blackbeard down and just make it a much more difficult push for them to that's a good start to that right there. Mint just laying down shots. He's like 1 health left at this point.
Yeah, Ranchero incredibly low. 6 quart is still watching the window in case there's a man going to jump out from behind. They might go for a reset.
Oh, you could
dead. Ranchero just watching the window.
Solid
anything
take.
right now. You could sneeze on him and he's down, but he's still in the kitchen holding firm towards the backside. Yunktis haven't grabbed a single kill this time, and we're down to 40 seconds. Falco inside is now going to begin the plant. He's tied in with one corner. Still full 5v5. Going to come down to a retake here from FlipSid. Yunktis are in their after plant positions. They're very happy with this. Ventura taking down King George. Pojo Man looking to come from the same angle. Ventura has no health and very low ammo, so he will go down, but it is still a 1-for-1 trade, and with 45 seconds on the timer, every kill that Yunktis gets is incredibly powerful.
They just got to hold that capture.
Pojo Man peeks around the corner, takes Falco Yo, but Yogus will take down Mint. Falco has to go up to the roof and is now out of the action for a couple of seconds. They do use this to reposition, but Yogus has grabbed a second one onto exclusive. This is going to be the round to decide the map. Easy peasy, pre-fired by Yogus. Pojo Man is the last man alive. He's inside the site. There's 4 people alive, and he's got to defuse. He's only got his pistol in hand, and Yunktis take that number 1. Clubhouse is in the books.
Very close match. Very close. And that's what happens when the EU meta meets the US meta. Very difficult to adapt to. That's what they worry about in the NA, right? So we've got the specific way of playing. You can be the best in NA at playing it, but if you're not prepared for that defense, you see what happens when it crumbles. I liked some of their attempts to try to pick off Blackbeard with that pulse, things like that, but they just didn't have the strength to overcome push that strong and that plant. With 5 people left alive on both teams, it was just going to be too hard for them to attack.
For a team that won the map, Yunktis don't look particularly happy.
Why was it so close? We should have won that 5-0.
To be fair, sign of a perfectionist, if nothing else.
Yeah.
The team,
what did we do
winning,
wrong?
not completely happy with their performance. 6-5 is still a lot closer than I think a lot of people expected that to go. And with, as we mentioned, Chalet being another map which is so heavily dependent on round-to-round adapting, it could be a very, very close second map here as well. But yes, see if they can even it out. And yes, as you mentioned, FlipSid did adapt nicely in that second defense. They knew how Yunktis were going to attack. They knew the kind of pressure they're going to put on that bomb site. And while they did a good job staying alive to it this time, they were in no position to return kills of their own.
Yeah.
And as a result, they just, gave up the plant, and then retaking that site when Yunktis were in full control of it, never going to happen.
So it's like almost like you need to be ready to throw a C4 or something on that plant spot. If they're going to use the same plant spot, knowing that they're going to use that, if you can catch the planter out as he's trying to plant, force that diffuser to just stay there, and then you know where they're all going to have to come and try and make that plant again. If they could have pulled that off, that might have been a big game changer for them in that last round.
So as the teams finish up their last couple of seconds of prep here for map number 2, we're heading into Chalet. Now, as we said, this is one of those maps with technically 4 bomb sites, but only 2 that get played competitively.
Definitely.
We have seen a couple of teams that didn't make it into the finals, that are slightly lower in the standings, but they've tried and they mixed things around with the master bedroom and with that upstairs bomb site in the office. Now, it hasn't always worked so well, but when you're looking at teams like this, you're talking about teams that have trained this hard, do you think it's completely implausible for something to have been pulled out in training and as a
just a change up?
Yeah, just something to mix things up.
Yeah, well, I think one of the things I like to see about Master Bedroom and teams not really utilizing yet is the fact that there's only 1 or 2, basically 2 rappel spots on the entire map. This is very counter to most of the map design. You can only rappel up on the Master Bedroom patio in one small area near the office, forces them to use the ladders, which are all watchable from window angles. So if you can watch those ladders and control the stairs, you force the attackers to have a much harder time coming up to that Master Bedroom, but that depends on staying very calm and in control, and as soon as that starts falling apart, it becomes much more difficult. But it is an idea I'd like to see played more.
So we'll see whether it's brought out to throw a spanner in the works later on in the rounds, but for now, FlipSid staying very standardized. They're going to that AB kitchen trophy room bomb site. The reinforcements and the setup for this have become very much standardized for every team. Barbed wire in that lobby entrance, barbed wire under the main window, reinforcements up all the way along the kitchen wall to make that corridor safe, reinforcements up towards the lobby wall, and then reinforcement here on the trapdoor upstairs. What becomes varied is the location of your actual players and your operators. Where are you going to put them? Who are you going to put where? And how do you then play it? Now,
this is one of the maps where I say, like, attacking top down is important. It is key, and the defenders know that. This is one where the fight over the top floor tends to decide who's going to win the map, but you never know. Every once in a while, an attack from the window or some other side might decide if people play it wrong.
So Mint has switched back to the MP7 with a holographic sight this time. They are also dropping a couple of reinforcements here inside the garage, so that it does force one of these thermite charges to be used if they want to go that way. Falco has a drone here inside the library.
Yeah, you don't want anyone roaming that library on you.
There is a man in here.
Yet. Does he just leave Mint there?
Didn't see him.
Falco.
Hasn't turned far enough. He's going to crack the window open now. Falco going to come in. Mint has stood up. He's around the corner. He's not ready for him, but Mint misses the shot.
Mint
had the drop on him and was not ready.
Close. He even switched to a better gun, but you know what? MP8 or M870 might have even be better at that range for him.
Yeah, I mean, he did 50% of Falco's health. If that one shot that landed had been from an M870 instead at that range, he would have got the kill.
Yeah.
As it is, a slight mistake then from FlipSid Tactics to get this ball rolling. We now have control of the hot tub room for FlipSid, for Yunktis. Yunktis is starting to make holes here in towards the floor, and this will allow him to give an angle down into the stairwell towards the basement.
Beauty of it is he's standing in the hot tub, so he can't be hit from below, making this a much more advantaged angle for him.
And here, as you say, is that top-down view. We've got trapdoors blown open, we've got the office under control, the floor is being torn up everywhere above the dining room and the corridor next to it. Yunktis really making the most of the time they've got here. They got in very, very quickly, and with that only Roman being taken out already.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought we were going to see Valkyrie hanging out upstairs. It would have been important to guard that.
She just dropped down into the basement after those shots rattled off her backside from the floor above. She's down now underneath, now can't come back up because of that hole we saw Yoga's making from this bathroom. Pojo Man is also down in the basement, and while his heartbeat sensing up and above him, he's going to have a tough time coming back up to this floor. With a minute on the clock now, Yunktis, without killing more than one person, have only got to deal with 2 players left on the bomb sites.
Very strong attack. They don't even really need to blow those thermited hatches. Just control these floors like the way they're doing.
So, flashbang's going into the adjoining room, and that will give 6 Court the opening he needs to come and plant the wall. Easy peasy hears it and does, of course, move himself away. They're thrown in the corner. Exclusive now inside that trophy room with them. The A site right now is completely exposed.
Oh, and there goes Easy.
King George does get a kill onto Spoken, but 6 Court will trade out easy peasy lemon squeezy, and now Exclusive pinned underneath this window with Unshiro right above him.
Exclusive doesn't have the best weapon to use against Blackbeard at that closer range.
He knows he's right up close, and the pre-fire is there to give the kill over to Renshiro. Comes into the barbed wire. It doesn't matter. He now knows he can be in and he's clear. The diffuser does get dropped. King George grabs that kill from up and through the trapdoor. He's looking for the next one. Actually gets the next one. Falco as well.
10 seconds to go.
Nice.
Renshiro now comes over to pick it up. He does pick it up though, successfully get inside to the side. He is going to begin the plant. The C4 from underneath will go off and not stop it. This plant needs to be stopped. There is another C4 underneath. It goes off, but it's not enough. Renshiro gets it down. Now he gets killed. Split second too late. But it's 2v1 now. Yogus is the only man left standing. He's watching the stairs up from the basement. King George is going to come up and they're going to find him first. He misses. He scopes at the last second. This could be huge. The shotgun's enough. Yogus goes down. That's half-second hesitation. Letting them get past is all it takes to let them get past. FlipSid Tactics should not have won that round by any means.
Yeah, that was definitely missed shots, missed opportunities. They had such good control of the map and just gave it away on that plant. So close.
See, FlipSid, a couple of serious faces just know that they got very, very lucky with that round.
We need to think about that. Do it a little differently, as we are, of course, going to see Trophy again.
Later on, they are, of course, forced to change it up now, but it's now Yunktis' turn. They're going to choose that same bomb site, Kitchen Trophy, as their selection. Yunktis is bringing out
a castle, huh?
Yeah, possible castle again.
Interesting choice. I mean, there's some windows and some doors you could do. I don't find windows as useful because people could just melee it even if they want, if they want to, because you can't shoot them in the feet or anything like that while they're doing it. But we'll see what he's gonna do with this castle. Should be interesting.
Castle barricade already there on the kitchen door.
Yeah.
Falco C4ing a hole in towards this hot tub room here.
Looks like we just want to cut off some rotational control.
Falco playing on the floors above. Very standard here for Yunktis' defense of this map.
Running the UMP-45 instead of the shotgun, though.
Again, very, very standard. When he's playing on these upper floors, the shotgun often doesn't have the range required when you're firing across from the library toward the office or across from the corridors between across to the office and that kind of range.
Or especially if you're going to go for a spawn peek like this.
Especially if you're going to go for this kind of aggressive peek, yeah.
Oh, 2 spawn peek.
Yunktis doing it again. 6 Court now looking for one angle. Mint's going to run up directly towards it. He's going to see him. He aims a bit low. The recoil's going to miss. Falco, however, won't. He gets a kill on easy peasy by running straight outside.
That's going to hurt. There goes their sledge.
Renshiro also on the floor above here now, and as you say, Sledge is now down and gone. He's checking, make sure no one was chasing him behind him. Watching that ladder. 6 Court going to be kicking himself for missing that spawn kill. That was honestly an easy shot.
Did a little bit of damage, put a little fear into him. It's not a complete waste, but yeah, easy 2 kills at the beginning. That would have been nice for them.
Should have been sealed.
Loving this pulse play though, just using him to really identify where attackers are coming from is such a nice thing to see now, as opposed to just depending on cameras and things like that.
So, up onto the van, they will check inside the trophy room. 6 Court is the only man in there. Now with both windows opened up, his movement is severely limited. Pojo Man, of course, outside this one with that shield in front of his face. at this nice low angle, making it very comfortable for him to be in there. 6 Quart is on top of that flower bed and was just droned out, so Ensure is cautious about watching into it. But ultimately,
if there's anyone that can...
if he just heads around the corner, he's going to see that knee.
So close.
He's very, very cautious about going so far around because he knows how many members of Yunktis are upstairs. But as a result, it's keeping 6 Quart alive for a little bit longer.
Blackbeard on that window just is so strong, especially if you can't get a good way to C4 him or something like that and he's able to back off in time. Very hard to get him out of that position without exactly what he was looking for there, someone just coming out that upstairs window.
Till the rest of his team are ready to put pressure elsewhere, he does decide to back away because, as you say, someone jumping out up top is very free to do so, while the rest of his team are doing a whole lot of nothing outside, just droning and checking.
If I was the defenders, I'd break that window just to make him even more afraid of it.
So they are going to leave a drone in this front side. That, of course, being where Falco peeked out from, they've got to be cautious of it. As it is, he has actually run back and is a long way away from there, but can't be sure.
A minute left and only the spawn kill still is the only kill in the round.
So smoke grenades filling out the main lobby corridor. That does give a chance for King George to come upstairs, and Spoken is now up the top waiting for it.
Falco.
Spoken taking down that castle with an M45 of his own. Wasn't ready for them to rush straight in and up there, and as he missed his shots, thinking they were going to rush in towards kitchen, he lets himself be exposed.
Battery's down.
No battery, it was shot.
Oh, wow, nicely played.
Somehow, probably from in dining room, I believe. A nice, very good shot. King George no commander. Falco is killing off King George as he tried to go downstairs and kill him. It was shot up through the trap door then to stop that charge. But Falco now coming out outside is looking for Pojo Man.
He's got to be marked by now.
Yeah, he's definitely marked, but it gives him a good safe rotate in. There's no one around that angle. Benshiro panic shooting him instead.
Nice play. Maybe he needs the reset.
Does give him the reset all the same. Mint takes out one. Yogus is taking down Pojo Man. Exclusive is going to be taken out inside as well. Now Mint's the last man standing because he's the only one outside alone. Doesn't have the diffuser, doesn't have 7 seconds on the clock. No one's going to come anywhere near. And Renshiro this time shoots the right man and gets the kill to end the round for Yunktis.
It felt like they couldn't decide which side to attack, or just were trying to play both sides at the same time, the trophy window and the main lobby entrance. They just couldn't get enough traction on either side. They had a lot of traction at first when they were in and put that thermite charge down, but that thermite charge getting shot, I think, took away most of their momentum that they had there. But cool, we had Blackbeard rotate around. He had pressure on the trophy window, and that was enough to keep them busy in there. Rotates around, helps over here. Thermite's got his thing going. It gets shot. Oh crap, now what do we do? They just didn't seem to have a good follow-up to that. And then they started getting picked off one at a time. Obviously, they were down an operator. That does make things a lot harder being down that sledge. You saw them even wanting to waste an ash charge on the garage door instead of being able to simply sledge it. Things like that definitely hurt their rhythm and the momentum of their strategy. They just weren't able to adapt fast enough, and obviously, Yunktis were prepared to be able to do that.
So, now it's time for FlipSid to adjust their defense. They have to go to a different spot now. They have to go here into the trophy, the garage and the wine cellar.
This used to be the primary choice, but trophy room had been become a lot more defensible, and you see sometimes that doesn't always work out in your favor. Sometimes it does.
We see an interesting kill hole being made right up and above his door. It will allow a nice C4 into that corridor should it be needed. If that wall gets thermited open, it gives a very strong position for a Blackbeard to fire right down inside the wine cellar. But this is another one of those sites where it's got two very different spots to play. You play from that main garage, you thermite that wall open, you have a very easy time of getting control of that A site. But you're also open to flanks, you're also open to top-down shots from the defenders. Or you blow open the garage door and you go in from the snowmobile garage, where you're a little bit safer, but it's not quite such an easy angle to shoot through. So we'll see what Yunktis go with. Right now their standard push is coming in through the games room. This is what they do every single time they attack this bomb site. And they get control of the bar, they get control of the snowmobile top floor, and then can fire down through that fireplace floor to a couple of the spots inside the backside of wine cellar.
It's a good way to be able to get that connector spot that connects the snowmobile garage to the wine cellar. If you can get the right angle on it, you can get people that hide in that corner as well. It's risky, you know, firing down in the fireplace, though. If someone's able to somehow get upstairs behind you, it can be deadly to your guys just standing there watching an angle. See them carefully pushing in, though. They definitely want to attack from multiple sides here. Getting this side right here could be crucial to getting them in the back, especially if you have thermite blowing open that garage door at the same time. They're going to be all focused their attention on that side, but it doesn't look like they're necessarily trying to do that.
So exclusive in the connector with Mint. Mint is prone and watching this little doorway. Mint, however, has already been droned out by Renshiro, so he's just cautiously watching the tight angle instead. Mint, now it would be a very tough thing for him to get that kill.
They do have this garage door open. That's going to help on that pinch.
Yeah, the EMPs are going in, flashbangs going in, taking out the trophy systems though, but the flash will land on a teammate. Wastes a couple of valuable seconds there as they team flash each other.
Those flashes are more powerful.
Player looking straight up through here to Renshiro. Now Mint spotted. Mint goes down very low.
Nice
Renshiro does get the kill, but they do trade 1-for-1. Exclusive getting 6 score before he was killed off there by Spoken. King George takes Spoken down as well now.
Renshiro sees ahead for a second there.
Mint very, very low, but still knows where Renshiro is. Shotguns are coming down from inside. There is a pro man. That's an easy headshot for Renshiro as soon as he notices King George. Back to a 3v3. Mint, though, very, very low on health. He's going to be out of the picture very time soon. He does peek out, but gets back in again as the grenade is waiting. Now Renshiro is just holding angle for him. Easy peasy will take down Yogus. Falco going to rush in from inside. As the diffuser outside the door, he's going to peek back in. Mint and Pojo Man both still in there now alive. Grenade's going to come in and land very close. Mint has no chance of surviving that one. He's going to go down in the corner.
Renshiro to defend him.
Wow, Mint actually did survive that one. He got far enough away. Wow, the range on that. He must be on singular digi HP right now. Buck going to come in, try and go for the plump. Easy peasy has him from a long range. He's got to keep spraying on this corner. Mint and Pojo don't need to peek for Renshiro now. Easy peasy drops him down again, and once more he's got no diffuser. Renshiro now has to kill 3 of them with 15 seconds. Mint is prone, looking through the hole again. He stands on up now. It's an easy kill Renshiro on that one. Easy peasy. All they have to do is hide for 8 seconds. They know this. Easy peasy does go hide behind the box. Shotgun around the corner. Does get the down. Easy peasy just has to hide from this Desert Eagle. He can see his leg, but he can't land the shot.
Oh! I
Time runs low.
The
Easy peasy
had that.
Locked him out.
They had that beautiful pinch angle and connector, and the way the defenders played that connector was just beautiful. Like, they did not give up an inch to the attackers, forcing them to both stay in their doorways, eventually bringing down Buck, forcing Blackbeard to do everything, him just not being able to push it hard enough and fast enough. I'm really surprised it went that way at the end. I really thought they had such a strong push and just threw it away with bad angles.
What they couldn't do, and all they did to throw that away, was easy peasy lemon squeeze. Sat there behind the A bomb inside the wine cellar. We had the kill holes in towards the plant spot, and because of where the control of the connector was, yes, Mint was pinned in one corner, but Exclusive was in the other side and stopped the plant down behind the green bins, meaning they had no plant by that garage door. Yes, they had open, and yes, they had Renshiro holding the connector, but they couldn't plant without easy peasy cutting down anyone trying to come in and defuse.
It was a really good hold. I was definitely impressed by that actually working.
So, Yunktis now looking to defend that site themselves. Both teams so far having successful defense rounds everywhere they've gone. 6 squad reinforcing this wall, which is where a kill hole, or a C4 hole rather, was made by the FlipSid defense. So if that push comes in from that angle, we're going to see a slightly different play from Yunktis.
That is one of the things that's generally probably variable in terms of how you use that.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser. Attackers are moving.
Need to see.
Let's hope they don't get spawn killed somehow this time. They definitely want this garage. Going for it. Probably having that Twitch drone there to make sure that any batteries.
6 squad once again going for that early spawn peak. He's got that kill hole there made towards the northwest spawn.
You know, if you can do it safely, it's worth trying.
Flashbang's going through the hole. Exclusive will blind himself, but he doesn't have to go too far. He's just trying to stop Spoken being aware of where the charges are.
Got to coordinate with this drone.
Another flashbang goes in. Drone goes in, takes down one, but it does get shot.
Got to make that plant.
Now
do it too late.
Down.
Way too late. Oh, but he does fake it.
Fakes it, but it's not going to matter. They've got no other way to take down any of the batteries unless they grenade on in here.
Yeah, no Thatcher.
Easy peasy's now going to give it a go. The grenade goes in.
Worth a try.
Goes off, will kill out the batteries, and now there are no batteries left. Spoken
Good
kills,
timing.
loses all of them. But they use up a lot of utility to make that done.
Yeah, they did.
Behind the B-bomb now, Yogus is playing very, very close to it. He's got a tight angle there if he wants to peek out onto Exclusive, and he's thinking about it. Exclusive now comes around, takes out the camera, ducks away again with the diffuser still hidden.
They need to start making some push from this other side here. That looks like they're trying to take control of Fireplace instead.
They are now using those same angles, firing in towards the A sites, trying to pin out and lock everyone in towards the wine cellar. But what Yunktis have got here is 2 roamers on the floors above. Falco and Spoken now are upstairs. And now, as far as we know, undetected by FlipSid Tactics. So if these guys are not found and cleared out, they could do a serious amount of damage later on in the round.
Yeah, you definitely don't see a lot of roam play like this, and it's just going to bite FlipSid in the butt if they are not prepared for it.
Falco hunting for more players. He did see King George, but he is now repositioned slightly and away from it. Down. 6 squad.
Tagged.
Hidden behind the weapon of King George. 6 squad gets a good shot down through the floor level. Taking down that Ash player now from the floor above. That's an easy peek out from Falco.
This attack is falling apart.
There he is. Those roamers being undetected, not droned, being free to move. Getting another one, and now Pojo Man, yes, he knows he's up here, and he's looking for it, but the free fire's there.
Giving him away, but
not quite the right angle.
Guess worth a try. Blackbeard
he's exclusive on the stairs below him. He's looking through the angle, but he's just about dodged away from it. More thermo charges going off, but so far they're still yet to find any kills of their own off FlipSid, and 5 defenders are still here. Spoken has come back down towards the basement now. There's only 30 seconds on the clock. They don't need the 2 roamers. Falco is pinned up in his spot, but
5v3.
wait there.
Not going to be good to try and make this plant unless they can really catch him off guard.
Easy peasy looking to peek in from the B site. There is Spoken right in the back corridor. He does get
takes
one,
so
but
much
is
damage.
immediately traded back again the other way. The numbers advantage working for that favor. 6 squad grabbing the last 2 kills
Crushing
around
him.
on Exclusive and Pojo Man. And once more we get a successful defense from Yunktis.
A lot of good movement on the defender's side, not staying in static positions and holding angles, rotating around, using the upstairs against them, picking them off one at a time. It seemed like after they got that door open, the garage door open, and used all their stuff trying to get that open, they didn't have a good follow-up to it. Yeah, they came around and blew the wine cellar, but just the push wasn't there with a lot of strength. And once those roamers started taking people apart, and the angles against them, as you saw on Ash, it just fell apart for the attackers. They didn't have the strength to actually make any kind of movement and take any kind of ground inside. They were pretty much fighting from the outside for the most part.
So back up into the kitchen trophy for FlipSid then. They successfully held this on the first round they defended, but ultimately got very, very lucky with it.
See if they can learn from that. They got to be prepared for that push from the side on the trophy room itself from the main entrance. We saw what happened last time with them shooting that with Yunktis shooting the thermite charge from down below. Perhaps they can learn something from that.
Seconds left before
It would be nice for them to stop that push at least.
Attackers
So.
discovered the location of a bomb. 5 seconds to go.
Do have a lot of drones getting in position here. The attackers knowing where they want to have those drones, those cameras in position, playing them smart, not just giving them away.
Once more the Yunktis push comes out. They do begin it with a very spread out general attack, and well, Trinity is a few months ago. FlipSid Tactics this time around, not going
easy.
for any spawn kills. Easy peasy gets it downed. He's alive though. Yunktis picking him off as he was still on his cameras. Didn't expect that window to get blown open quite so early. Now actually you
Does
can
know
see
he's
him here
down.
through the drone hole. He's going to go for the grenade. He could have just shot him through the drone hole.
Yeah.
Instead he's wasting his grenades.
Oh, now he's going to let him get back up. That was
Sees
a missed
Yoga sprint
opportunity.
across the gap.
can
Now he
get it?
sees him come through. They did duck
Oh,
away, but he could have
missed.
got him while he was crawling across to that corner. Yoga's instead wasting a grenade, letting the revive
Little
come
tag
through.
in the
Does
foot.
tag Mint's foot again, but it's only a third of his health.
You know, this is hurting him a little bit, but really, such a huge missed opportunity to take Rook out.
Yeah, but in wasting a grenade for it,
I
honestly,
know.
I feel like, yeah, okay, being downed is a bad thing, but FlipSid kind of got off very, very lucky
Yeah. There's that other repel spot I was
with the
mentioning.
way they are.
Well, you know what? FlipSid seemed to get lucky on this bomb spot, and they're getting lucky again, despite not playing it so great.
Yeah, Yunktis are being a little bit panicky, playing a bit too fast with these kind of mistakes. It's not a sort of thing that you'd see many people screw up with. As soon as you drone in through the drone hole, realize there's no shield watching that, you immediately go prone and shoot through the drone hole.
Easy.
King
'Cause-
George takes Renshiro out with a shotgun. That's the Blackbeard taken out, and on this
Good
bomb site we
kill.
talked about how strong he can be, so that's a big important kill.
That'll help a lot.
Upstairs though, they're still trying to fire down through floors, and they are flashbanging down as well, but he will
missed
blind
us.
himself. Okay, not
Well,
himself. But it does
almost.
blind and deafen enough people underneath that they can blow this trapdoor open towards the kitchen. Not the most powerful trapdoor in the world, but
No.
every little angle helps here.
Certainly not the armory trapdoor angle.
Yogas is now prone trying to shoot through that drone hole, and Exclusive was prone underneath the window himself. King George inside dining is going to be a bit cautious. Once again though, Pojo Man and Mint are pinned right down in the basement underneath everything. Last time they got very, very lucky to successfully get back up the stairs. If this time happens a second time over, someone's got to be counting their lucky stars.
Yeah.
Spoken,
unfortunately.
however, takes King George down this time. Spoken was the man looking down through that angle before. He actually does it into a kitchen this time.
That could be a really useful operator on this one. It's a bummer to see Valkyrie get killed that soon.
Now their drones come in. They do realize Exclusive is directly underneath this window, and Spoken immediately begins to stare straight at it. As he clips through the wall there. This isn't the 3-3 patch, so those aren't fixed as much.
Oh, nice
Boom!
shot. He got killed there last time and turned it around on them with that shotgun.
Exclusive with the MA-70 stands up and aggressively pre-peeks it this time. He then drops through the hole and it again survives 6-score spray. Does return a little bit of damage with his MA-70, but it's not enough. And the C4
Oh,
comes up to
saw it
catch
for a
him.
second.
Finishes him off.
Couldn't decide what to do.
Easy peasy picking up one more kill onto Yogas. Falco's the last man standing. He does stand up straight away to take Easy Peasy down. It's 3v1 though, and they're coming in from the dining room stable. Turns around to behind him. Pojo Man's got the shotgun in hand. He can't quite finish him off. And it is going to be an easy defuse for Mint as they do come in. 3 rounds to 2 now in favor of FlipSid, but once again it's a successful defense for everyone.
Defenders of
It's you see why it's the primary bomb spot to pick now. I mean, it's one that they figured out how to defend a lot better. I was surprised to see Jaeger that time running with the M870. It worked out for him, though. I mean, Exclusive had been using the carbine so well before, but he decided, you know what? At that range, laying down there, I'm not doing a whole lot of good with that.
So, Yunktis back onto defense themselves. Now looking to get their successful defensive round. They're very much along the road with it. But someone's got to break the mold if we're going to end this map in a successful fashion.
Is 1 point up for FlipSid. See if they can use that. Try and get a little bit of leg up. They are running with that castle again, though. See if that can do a little bit of a slowdown enough for them to pick off some of those attackers as they're coming in.
So, standard reinforcements upstairs again. They've got that castle on the kitchen door once more, which still confuses me a little way.
10 seconds
Yeah.
insertion.
Because, especially, I mean, on the first round, okay, something a bit different, something they practiced in the past, but when FlipSid never even got close to it, I feel like all it's doing right now is limiting their own movement.
Yeah. It's not like they're running any, like a special shotgun on castle or taking advantage of him in some other way as well. But we'll see what he can do.
Once again, though, they've got Spoken on that castle running an ump. So, let's see if he can actually do something with it this time around. Last time, all he did was shoot down through a floor and got caught by surprise.
I like to see both teams, though, changing up what kind of weapons they're using in the operators, not just sticking to one. You saw them change between the M870 and the MP7 on Jaeger and Bandit. You're seeing them switch between the shotguns and the UMPs on Castle and Pulse. It's good adaptations.
Once again, though, they are leaving him upstairs. Falco actually this time playing down inside the basement. Instead of on the top floor where he was earlier on, but he's still got plenty of time to move and rotate around if he wishes. Pojo Man outside on this window. Hasn't got himself a lucky kill onto, or a lucky down rather, onto a rook at the back of the room, but 6-Squat is still in there. He's completely flashed with that. Grenade is now thinking about coming up underneath him. He times this right. 6-Squat's down by one. Won't be finished off by that one as he's moved a little bit too far to the left. That one will be shot down, though, by Pojo Man. The grenade actually didn't do it, but there's that, as you mentioned, that little punch. Little punch on that window, just to scare him away.
Why not? Doesn't cost you anything.
Does push him back a little way. Spoken, getting that bit done. But with a minute 45 on the clock, there is a one-man advantage for FlipSid. Falco now inside the basement here is just heartbeat censoring and cameraing his way closer and closer to the front edge of the map. FlipSid looking to and want to control the top floor, but they know there's a man up there, so they're cautious about it. Also keeping an eye on that corridor for Falco. His heartbeat sensor won't have caught King George there, so if he's not too careful...
Yeah, they're going to have to do something here to make some movement, get inside, kill some of these roamers. Otherwise, they're just stuck trying to make this. But you got 4 people right here just in this one room trying to get traction.
Well, they don't know it yet, but the roamers have all fallen back. Spoken is downstairs again now. They do have them all either on the bomb floors or below it now. Spoken just came up the stairs and was in the basement. Falco's still down in the basement. They've got the trapdoor open to the kitchen. King George is breaching and taking out the barbed wire underneath it inside the kitchen.
Looks like they're getting ready for this push here.
Yeah,
if they can get in.
Oh! Falco jumping outside, trying to take down Exclusive. He went for the very long way around coming up here from inside the basement. Mistimes it completely. Pojo was miles away and gets all the time in the world to get the detection and the free wallhack.
Yeah, I think the Falco's going to be critical to picking apart this attack.
Takes Exclusive down. Yogus with another good shot, and easy peasy. Tries to leap on in, and there's another easy shot from Falco jumping out on the side. Mint does drop into the kitchen, but Yogus was ready for him, and now it's only King George left as the sole attacker. It looked so good from FlipSid for a while, but Falco coming up at the perfect moments takes them all down. Now looking to come up again, and from above, Spoken this time gets that final kill.
Those UMPs were the MVPs for those rounds. I think Falco having that heartbeat and letting them kind of get in to an extent and then seeing where they're all at and just making those well-timed plays, started picking apart. They thought they're all comfortable. We're in these rooms. The roamers have fallen back. As soon as they started getting picked off, they're just panicking, looking around like, where are we going to get attacked from next?
Yeah, they didn't drone the rest of the building properly. They didn't know where any of these roamers were. They had no idea Falco was in that basement the entire game. And he comes up at the right moments to pick off all the important kills, taking Exclusive down and then picking up one more into Pojo later in the round.
We're seeing the power of Pulse as a roamer in a lot of these rounds.
Yeah. And with so little time left on the clock, once Yunktis knew the positions of those attacking players, they could close in from every surrounding angle because they knew they had nowhere to go.
I guess that's a bummer. You finally feel like, okay, we've got in, we've got this. Collapse.
So now, FlipSid very easily held this bomb site the first time they did it. Yunktis, however, have shown plenty of skill in learning and adapting their attacks based on it. So what are you going to do to save from that? The thing here is, though, that FlipSid didn't have to defend the wine cellar at all on their last defense.
Yeah, from the backside.
Yeah, the entire attack came on towards the B side from the garage and from this back alleyway from
5 seconds left before
Yunktis.
insertion.
So this C4 hole that Pulse has made in the backside of Wine and all the reinforcements on that A site
Attackers
never really got
locate
tested.
and defuse
Yeah,
the bomb.
I think they've got to, like, no, okay, those angles are really what bit us in the butt last time. We can't just count on those to make it work. We've got to put pressure from behind, get that guy
Attackers
behind
have
the bomb.
recovered their diffuser.
Spoken, spraying open the window that leads right in towards the bar. There's a kill hole in there for someone that might want to kill off any potential thermite. They could have been planting in there.
That's the
or
thing, stop that
firing
thermite.
out from there.
Looks like they at least want to come this side.
Yeah, Yunktis are droning a lot more thoroughly this time around. 6 Quart's drone is on this end. Spoken just slowly going down the stairs until 6 Quart tells him it's safe and clear.
Good of him
Jump his
slowing
own
himself down.
drone up. Spotted into the A site, see what's waiting for him. Sees Pojo Man there underneath that edge. There's the kill holes and the C4 holes up and over the top.
Let's just make it a bigger hole then. Make it a little bit harder for them to use it to their advantage.
Yeah, if there was a man crouched right underneath it, he'd have taken him out, but Pojo Man is still just ducked and prone. He's got his heartbeat sensor in hand. He's just looking for anyone coming in that corridor.
His feet have got to get spotted right there.
Oh, they know he's there. They've seen him already. You can see it underneath. Thermite charge is going to go off above, taking out the trapdoor from Dining.
Now they're out of position.
Yep, Ranchero now moves forward because they push Pulse back, so that C4 hole now becomes irrelevant. Thanks to that thermite charge. Valkyrie's pinned inside the small cellar now, and the thermite charge next going off here will blow it open and mean she's very much exposed. She pre-fires in here, is going to run out of ammo now, and as he comes around the corner,
Nice shot
it's an easy
from the
shot
ground.
from behind. Easy peasy once again behind that A-bomb. Same spot, different direction this time. Flashbang's coming in, trying to keep King George pinned. He comes around the corner,
Shotgun.
pre-firing. Gets an easy kill again onto the Thatcher, waiting there, and
2-4.
goes around to get Ranchero as well. Grenade coming in up and above,
that
but with
was-
that in his hand, Falco gets it taken away a trophy and isn't there to shoot Pojo. Pojo returns half of Falco's health in his own, and Yoga's now pushing for the aggressive push that isn't going to come.
They got them out of position so good, but they're not following it up.
They weren't ready for the aggressive push out here
No.
from FlipSid. They were expecting them to fall back, expecting them to be passive once their positions were known. Instead,
they
King
did
George
it
came
first.
running at them.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're going to fall back. Nope, shotgun time.
Yeah. When King George realized there was nowhere for him to fall back to,
Yeah,
he would
see
take him out.
Falco. Yeah, I like that reinforcement right there, stopping him from being able to wallbang from that
Yep.
door.
Gives him the safety. Down he comes. He does pre-fire
Nice
into Pojo
shots.
Man. It's a good shot because he was already very low. But easy
shotgun
peasy
again.
turns around and King George flanks onto him, takes Falco down. Yoga's finished off by exclusive in the back alley.
Shot.
And once more, we have a defensive win. It is now onto FlipSid. If you want to take this to a third map, you also have to break the defense win deadlock we've got here going on Chalet by taking this round.
I think they've shown, again, like we saw last map, a lot of good adaptation. Not as good of adaptation from Yunktis. We saw it fall apart. They did try and adapt. They said, you know, we're going to come from the other side. We're going to get all these guys out of position, and we're going to be able to push in a lot cleaner. That push back showed that they adapted even better, not being caught out of position, being ready for a take from that side. You know, that is more the meta at the moment in the NA side, is being pushed from the wine cellar side. So I think they were prepared for that, and maybe the EU just weren't.
Oh. As we go into round number 8, Falco leading his squad, 8 kills to 4, definitely showing more of the MVP we got here, but King George doing the same thing, picking up 3 of his 10 kills in that last round alone. The rest of the squad's keeping things very, very even.
Definitely onto FlipSid to really make this attack strong and count.
The Yunktis defense, we are seeing a slight difference here. Falco making these kill holes along the bottom edge of that wine cellar wall. Going to be able to track the feet in through that corridor, maybe pre-fire someone down.
If I was Yunktis, I'd be looking for those spawn kills again. Try and do something to slow them down, stop them from potentially getting this round.
6 Quart has been doing it every round so far, but still just cannot actually get it to work. He's gone now towards the main garage. He is spraying through the garage door. Falco out in the main.
They almost need a
Fireplace
second
room.
guy trying to find another angle, just
That's what they
anything
did last round. Six Squad
Yeah.
was trying for one, Falco was trying for one. Falco was the only one that actually got one. Six Squad missed his kill onto Buck.
If they can do one again, that's just all they need to stop the momentum of the attackers.
Yeah, but this time they get nothing. Falco is still roaming though. He is now on the top floor of the map. In that master bedroom, checking what may or may not be coming in underneath him. As it is, it's a not coming in underneath him.
Looking for that push into the garage there.
FlipSid using the push commonly used by Yunktis here, actually coming in from the games room in towards the bar. They are now going to blow open this trapdoor above B, and it's actually a very strong trapdoor for getting control of that connector. If you have a man here in that back alley that was being droned, you have a man at that trapdoor inside the bar, and then you have a man at this garage door, you get a lot of control over this B site. But the difference is now, you've got to get Falco off that top floor.
Yeah.
If Falco is allowed to be on that top floor while you're doing this, he's going to come down behind any one of those three players.
Free kills.
And destroy them.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, these are nice places to hold, but you can only hold them if you don't have someone walking up behind you and shooting the back ahead.
So they do get the garage door open.
Nice job.
Six Squad has dropped himself a deployable shield inside the wine cellar. They got reinforcement on the wall from A. That's where it's easy peasy shut down their plant so easily from. They'll start to spray through the smoke just as Exclusive runs away from it. Falco, though, is still on the top floor now. Yogus has gone up there to join him. Pojo Man watching the back alley. Tentative. Doesn't know if there's a man on that corner, but he's in the barbed wire and he's trying to use it to bait out movement if there's a man there. Now confident that there isn't the case. Easy peasy picks up the first kill. It's onto Spoken inside the site. That's the bandit down. The plant's going to go in. And it begins to go down in the corner. Here's the movement from Six Squad coming out, but the free fire's already there. Yogus does take Pojo Man down, but King George will take out Renshiro. The plant has successfully gone off all the same. 3 members of each team still alive as Six Squad picks up King George TV. Easy peasy, trades out Six Squad.
2-on-1.
Falco still upstairs, Yogus still upstairs. They had to come down late. Now Falco's pushing on out. He knows his man around the corner, pre-fires it, and it's a nice shot onto the head. Now it's 2v2, but Mint and Exclusive are at a long range, so for Falco to pre-fire, this is going to be tougher. He gives it a go, but he's aiming it a bit low. Mint survives, but so does Falco. Now Exclusive's coming in. Does get a good shot to Yogus. Now Falco's got to find 2. Exclusive's low, but Mint will get Falco, and FlipSid forces us to a third map.
Well played. Both close games, both turning out slightly differently. Very impressed by how FlipSid played that map. I thought Clubhouse was going to be their map to go strong on, but they definitely had a very good Chalet.
Yeah, they successfully cracked that defense open. Falco hanging around upstairs a little bit too long that time around. He wasn't an impact. We kept talking about how they had to clear him out. They had to deal with him, or he'd come down and he'd flank successfully, but he just didn't.
No.
He stayed up there the entire time. The timing for that retake was not there.
You see King George really pulling his weight as one of the newer players, coming into Trinity.
Now, both teams now take a step back, take a quick breather. Not entirely sure what we're talking to admins about, but we'll find out shortly if it's important. As we look towards map number 3. And this is an interesting one based on their way and the amount of time they've been played over the last couple of series, because they're playing Consulate as their third map.
And according to what I saw, I believe neither team played it during the entire Pro League in terms of their Playday matches. So this is a bit of a wild card. Definitely looking forward to seeing which team has the stronger attack here.
So yes, we're giving the players obviously a short toilet break. It has been a couple of rounds. It's been 2 maps. I'm sure a lot of people and a lot of the predictions came out that everyone's expecting this a 2-0 from Yunktis. No one expected to go for a full third way through.
No, it's definitely, you see what is the most important thing here is when you're coming and playing against players from a totally different country that you're not scrimming against, that you're not practicing against, adaptation is key. If it was NA versus NA, they know how to play that. NA versus EU, you got to pay attention, you've got to have multiple options, and you got to read what you need to do.
It's beautiful. We saw a lot of teams early on in the season and early on in the weeks that would have that one strategy and they'd push it and they'd make it work, or they'd lose, and that would be it. Both of these 2 teams have shown that not only through the last couple of weeks, but through the end of the season, they've got multiple different ideas lined up and can bring them out round after round without any real hesitation. And it is showing us a completely different playstyle every single round we've seen.
That's what you have to do. You can't just come bringing the same thing over and over, or the other team that adapts will just roll over what you're doing. They're going to know all your angles, all your positions, pre-fire you, spawn kill you. But having multiple takes, multiple ways to do it that are not just opposites, but sometimes just different variations is key. Because like you said, they start to count on that, and then you just play against it. Yeah,
so as the players finish up their last series, you see FlipSid are slowly funneling back in and just talking things over as they look towards the final map. Consulate, we talked about it, it's out in Punji. Unfortunately not here with this weekend, but it often refers to it as big house.
Yeah.
And the way it can get played is ultimately, while it feels pretty big and it is very big end to end, once you look at the bomb sites, they're very much either end of the map, and in very small confined spaces with just a couple of floors to contend with.
Very common attacks, most of those places. It more comes down to the roam play in terms of that bigger space playing into it. If the attackers choose an odd spot to come from, those roamers start to be engaging in those fights off of disparate parts of the maps. That's where it can get a little interesting, but otherwise, like I said, it's big house. It can come down to those very close fights in those very small areas, lots of windows shot, lots of rotating, and taking advantage of the fact that the defenders can kind of move around a little more freely than some of the other maps.
So everything we've seen those last two maps, that would tell me this is Yunktis' win.
I think this is in their
Falco
favor.
has shown to be the roamer in this game. FlipSid haven't seemed to got anyone that can really contend with that.
Yeah, I think FlipSid, I mean, you've seen FlipSid at least change up their weapons based off range they're going to be engaging at and things like that, so hopefully they've got a little bit of strategy planned for this, but like I said, neither of them have been playing it, so we don't really have an idea how they play this, and if they have a solid strategy in mind, as this is not a map that's been super popular in the NA scene, they're probably not in their element.
So, as we let the players funnel themselves back in and settle down ready for map number 3, we're going to run to a short 2-minute break and be right back with the culmination of FlipSid Tactics versus Yunktis. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. We do have FlipSid Tactics versus Yunktis currently at 1 round apiece. They played Chalet, and they played themselves Clubhouse. And it was a very, very close 6 rounds to 5 to Yunktis on Clubhouse. But then with a defense win every single round on Chalet, it took FlipSid Tactics that one final attack win to break the mold and take it 5 rounds to 3.
No, it was good. They didn't force it into overtime that time to show they were very strong on Chalet.
Yep, now as you can see, just from the end of the break, all 10 players are back in and in their chairs, and we will be getting underway with the third map any second now. It is going to be Consulate. We talked about this briefly. We talked about how this is a Roma heaven in many situations. How when attacking things like the garage, it becomes taking control of that piano room, taking control of that upper floor, and stopping any kind of bandit play, or even not even just bandit, just cleaning out that white van, cleaning out the pipes location, anything from top down. When the Romas are such a big deal, and we've already seen some of these teams, namely FlipSid, had a real issue flushing Yunktis Romas out.
Yeah.
Falco is going to shine. He's already had a pretty good map there on Chalet, even with his team losing. He was top of the board, he was picking up all the kills. But if they can't deal with him, FlipSid are going to get picked apart.
Especially on this map where there's a lot of good windows to be used to attack people on the outside that are not prepared for it. And the ability to use some of those outside positions, like for example coming out of that sort of patio out on the front, being able to use those angles against them or throw C4 out the windows, things like that, those roamers are going to be key.
So here it is. Consulate. FlipSid Tactics versus Yunktis. The winner of this map is heading on to our final. Now, this has been a far closer game than I think everyone expected. We already saw our other teams' predictions showing Yunktis as an easy win. All three of our other teams here, including the two other semi-finalists and our Brazilian squad, put Yunktis out as a favorite to win it. Our experts, Verdipones, did the similar thing, but it is by no means been the one-sided affair that I think they all thought it was going to be.
And this is the wild card.
Yep, and they still have to go on to face up against either the Orbit undefeated North American squad or Sisu, our second seed from Europe. So there's still a mountain task to go.
If they, if FlipSid can win this, I think they're probably hoping to go up against Orbit because it's better to have the enemy you know, right, than the enemy you don't. And they've got to know Orbit a lot better. You see some of these spawn peeks still coming out for 6th quarter. He just can't help himself with this Rook spawn peek play, and this is a good map for him. But they've got to be expecting it by now. You see him looking for those windows.
Yeah, they're all cautious for it.
Oh, peeks out a foot though. Just so close to finding him. Can't make it work though. He's gonna have to back it off. Blackbeard just not wanting to get himself shot early. 6th quarter though decides to just pick a different window. He really wants to get some early spawn kill and throw them off.
Yeah, they've shown it. They've tried it a couple of times, but with King George taken out of the picture already early on, FlipSid Tactics are on that back foot.
Good way to start off the map when you just lost the last one, right? Put some fear back into them.
Yoga's cracking open a late hole, or unsure actually man do it, but giving them a rotate hole from the back of the white van in towards the A site, giving themselves some way to escape there as that garage door is now cracked right open thanks to 2 thermite charges.
That was fast.
Spoken is taken down very, very low, but still being alive means he's got that weapon to play with.
And things slow down drastically.
Trying to find it. They know a couple of players are inside this garage, but they need to find exactly where they are. They could plant in front of the white van, but they need to make sure that man is safe and will not be rushed down when he does so.
That cafeteria hole usually being a big part of that.
So, one at pipes, one at yellow van, then as you can see, and as you mentioned, Falco's still running around on the floors above. Currently right at the other end of the map though, and well, FlipSid Tactics not too exposed from him.
Yeah,
as long as he doesn't peek out those windows up top.
They really want this garage, that's for sure. I would like to see some pressure on the backside of the cafeteria at this point if they want to make that push successful. There's that patio I mentioned earlier.
6th squad though, grabbing himself another kill, taking down Mint, meaning FlipSid are even further down and behind now. Now Falco's come and joined the top half of this map, keeping an angle out and through. He doesn't have his C4 anymore and he cannot see anyone at that tight angle. But 6th squad still over by the pipes. Pojo's got to keep an eye in there for him, but he's not looking to peek out again. Exclusive finally gets one for FlipSid as Spoken tries to come down that side alleyway by security. 6th squad still tipped over by one side and they're trying to fire him from different angles, but 6th squad's going to get a shot on the back of Pojo man as he comes around that corner. Tojo managed to peek around the corner, take him out as they do push down the white van though. Falco from above takes down 2 to secure the round. With Yoga's pushing aggressively, jumping on out. It's an easy first one, and then back on in the other side to take down by the white van, Pojo man.
Nicely played. That Falco roam. It was a little late, you know, but I think that was on purpose, you know, staying back saying, like, I just got to stay alive long enough for them to just not be expecting me, and then just jump out and start shooting.
Knows he doesn't need to come out, doesn't need to be aggressive when all 4 members of the attacking team are accounted for outside that garage. Just has to sit there, sit comfortable, wait for them to come on forward, and when they did, his aggressive play out that window and Yoga's aggressively playing towards the white van meant that they couldn't look in every single direction at once.
They were so obsessed with getting in there, they just didn't know what else to do.
So FlipSid Tactics now with their defense location to the top floor as their first spot. Not an uncommon choice to be the first location for the North American teams.
Definitely becoming more popular.
Why?
I think it's a spot where, you know, the garage, people know how to play it well. The upstairs forces play to be a little more spread out. That people can't just come from one side and attack or pinch, a very simple pinch, say from the cafeteria side and the garage side. They have to come from a lot of different angles. A lot of different windows come into play. I mean, it can work against you as well. Of course, if you play this site and you don't know how to control those windows, it can really backfire. But I think the NA scene has played this a lot in terms of this bomb spot and know how to defend it. That's if Yunktis attack it the standard way.
So, there were a couple of tentative peeks outside these windows from FlipSid, but just like Flip, Yunktis played very, very slowly coming out of their spawns and making sure they were all empty and clear, and are still watching them closely as they start to edge their way towards the building. Ranchero up here on the Blackbeard windows outside the B site. Does have it smoked off and edged back and kept away from him, but still cautiously edging his way up there, as on the other windows is 6-Quart firing through the connector towards the A site. Still got an idea of which way they can push this on through. They're going to know there's a man tucked in that corner. It is Mint, that's where the smoke grenade came from. Ranchero is still cautious of that main garage door, someone peeking out from that stairwell looking towards him.
I'm never too comfortable with this particular push right here, because if you die with that diffuser right there, the diffuser's stuck there. So they need to actually bring it from a different side.
So Pojo Man down and underneath inside the garage. He's checking the different rappel spots. He sees that one that was going up towards connector. That was Ranchero now repositioning with the Blackbeard. Keeping an eye on him, but hasn't got any way to really attack him from here. Checking around towards the staircase in case anyone's hovering and watching that door. They're not, but even with his shotgun, he'll have a tough time dealing with them, heading his way out. Falco's got himself inside the admin office now, and he's looking to come down the main corridor through the middle of the map, but there's a little bit of barbed wire for him to deal with if he wants to take the safer spots. Starts to crack one open at the top of these Visa stairs and is edging slowly towards A, but it's cautious of what might come up behind him. It is exclusive. Right down there in the bottom of the Visa stairs, looking to take a trade with Falco on his way up. But neither of them have caught sight of each other just yet. Falco, however, at the top of this trapdoor in Visa, it's got a sneaky suspicion exclusives there. They do keep missing each other with their little looks up and down here. Now King George is on the Visa stairs as well, so both of these angles now being covered by T3, and there is Falco shut down from a distance by King George at the top of that stairwell, so the first kill is on the board for Trinity. Does give Spoken a chance to get inside now though, but he's got to be aware of this staircase. Not got himself any kind of flashbangs or grenades. He's got the breach just comes around the corner with the pre-fire. The flashbang has taken King George down, but exclusive is there at the bottom to trade it out, and King George doesn't actually get finished off. He is just DBNO.
That's going to help.
6-Quart's got the plant down now, though, as Ranchero will finally get a kill for Yunktis. It's on Mint. And now up these back stairs, exclusives thinking about it. He's got barbed wire to deal with, but it's his own, so he's just got to worry about the noise. 6-Quart switches back to his main weapon. Only 10 bullets in this, though, so he's got to make sure they count. C4 from the floor, though. Pojo Man takes him out, and that's going to be the site back in exclusive control. He jumps out the window to take down Ranchero on the rappel. It's going to begin the defuse. They don't know where Yogos is. He's on the Visa stairs. The defuse is going to be channeling through. Easy Peasy's at the connector, watching him coming on up. But from behind him, King George TV shuts him down, and round number 2 does head over once again to the defensive tide. This time, however, it's FlipSid.
That's what happens when they don't finish off King George, right? Comes back to bite him literally from behind.
Yeah.
I like
using that trapdoor inside the admin office.
Yeah.
Drop down behind him.
I like to see the C4 from below, but they just did it way too late, not catching them while they were defusing. But you know what? They made it work in the end, C4ing the guy that was guarding the diffuser, and then just pushing up on it, getting the one guy from behind who would have been able to stop it was crucial. That was a very solid defense. We could see why they picked it first, right? They knew how to play it.
So, one round apiece again. We're starting this game off same as we started every other map so far, with a very, very tight engagement between these two squads. Now, however, it's Yunktis' turn to defend this same bomb site up here on the top of the bomb, or on top of the map. See if they're any better at it, or more to the point, see if Trinity, ex-Trinity, FlipSid, are any better at attacking it. They picked it as their preferred defense. They know the map, they know it as their preferred site. Does that mean they're any better at attacking?
I hope so. I mean, there's a pretty standard meta that works pretty good on this, which you have the Blackbeard to the B window, you have someone watching that connector window, you push in from admin, maybe even run someone up spiral stairs. But with that roamer play, as we said before, that standard attack may backfire on them if they can't control Falco.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Now Falco last time around did turn the end of the round out. 6 score with an MP5K on mute, actually. Going for that aggressive peek outside towards the police line, but doesn't land anything serious, and Mint doesn't return anything either.
Interesting choice with mute. Good to see him make a comeback.
Yeah, I want to see where he put his jammers. We didn't quite catch them. I think most of them are in and around the B site, up on those walls by the stairwell. Pojo Man is on the admin office windows and is thinking about looking his way in. Falco is in here with his heartbeat sensor tracking him. He does actually get a pre-fire through the window. Pojo, nice shot onto Falco, and he gets another one as a 6 squad. As easy peasy takes Spoken down, and suddenly FlipSid has just cut apart the Yunktis defense in the very fast 20-second flat.
Really using those angles and windows to their advantage, doing a lot of wallbanging in common spots.
Renshira and Yunktis then, the last 2 players alive. One in A, one by B.
Mid just waiting patiently right there.
Yeah, they can just take their time now. They've got a lot of drones left to find these 2 players.
He wants to do something, it's just not the time yet.
Does begin to spray in as they were finding him inside.
Nice.
Renshira is very, very low, but the pistol's all it needs is for Mint to finish him off. Yoga's now alone against 5. He's looking through the connector. He's already been tagged now by Mint. They know exactly where he is. Pojo Man coming around the corner. He gets the kill. 3 in the round for him. And FlipSid Tactics, well, there it is. Very aggressively, successfully attacking that site.
I guess they probably wanted this map. I mean, they might have done a lot of scrimming on it. We didn't see it in Pro League from them, but that doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing.
Now, talk to them a little bit later on about their pick ban strategy, but you're right, there may be a very real possibility. So, all right, we've not played Consulate the entire season. They've not played Consulate the entire season. Let's ban around these other maps. Pick one that we like, but as long as we leave Consulate open, there's a real possibility it becomes the last remaining map. Yeah. And we have it up our sleeves.
Well, considering they've tied pretty much every Pro League match, they've got to be ready for that 3rd map.
Yep. So, now they're going for a very different defense.
This is a risky one. Taking this defense really exposes yourself to that front door right there, because you can stand next to the steps and have a nice angle right underneath. You can shoot people in the bathroom. You can shoot people carelessly in that main lobby area right there. It's very hard to defend well if they can get that plant down. Good luck getting it stopped unless you can just jump out a window and shoot them all.
That's what we've seen, though. Stopping that plant in the lobby while it feels like it should be an easy just walk in the front door, plant down, nice good job, is not so easy to do.
No.
Very easy to fire from the top down, through trapdoors, through the top of this cinema room, through that trapdoor there, through a hole in the backside, you can stop the plant. Directly through the floor here where Pojo Man is, you can again stop the plant. And if you do jump out from either piano or from the Visa windows, you can get a good crossfire onto anyone outside that front door. So it is not as easy as it looks on the surface against a well-coordinated team like FlipSid.
Definitely timing and communication really come into play. Especially, hey, you got the pulse, you could have him upstairs, call out when they're coming in, where they're at.
Or have him safer downstairs,
yeah,
just pulsing through the floor. Yes, he can't shoot or C4 himself, but he is safe from damage and can just provide the information that he will be able to. Upstairs, though, we've got Mint once again on these windows. Renshira repelling as if it was the top floor bomb site, but he is once again being pinned and locked away from it. Cautious of this backside, cautious of this doorway. Just got a drone there to make sure it's still clear, and it is. But he's got to deal with Mint. He is getting the smoke charges out and expended, but
they want to take control of this top floor. They don't want to let Pojo Man just hang out up there, but they're just so slow in doing it here. They're burning up a minute already without having gotten any kills.
No, they have also not quite realized that Mint has moved on from there, so he's still cautious about Mint in that corner, but he's no longer there in Chiro. He's actually down underneath in piano. He's cautious of the window. He's got C4 in hand. He's looking for Spoken, who's repelled up on that wall, or maybe 6 Squat if he sprays it at a range, but smart call, realizing that he's not close enough.
Watching that window. Go ahead, jump out, see what happens.
Camera there close by, giving an idea. 6 Squat drone straight up and in. He immediately kills it before it sees anything. He's going to throw his C4 straight out. Would land right on 6 Squat's head. The flashbang though will come in beforehand. Spoken repelling on the connector windows now between both bomb sites. Cautious on the floor above. Yogas tries to crack the window on the other side, but misses. 6 Squat, first kill of the round then. It does take Mint out now inside piano. So after all that back and forth with the C4 in hand, the kill goes over to Yunktis.
Ends with a pistol.
Yeah, downs him and finishes him off. Minute left on the clock then. Now Yunktis do have an eye on this A site with a man advantage. 6 Squat cautious about it. Renshiro, the man with the diffuser, does drop it down outside to Falco. He's now picked it up, and on the floor above, Renshiro starting to create these holes down and under. They're giving up and not going for that front lobby. As we mentioned, it looks to be the easier one, but on the surface, it's not. Can they get inside B now?
There was that Pojo Man.
There we go, Pojo Man underneath, and this is the dangers of B. It is C4-able. Falco is getting the plant down though.
Attackers are
See
active.
for the wrong guy, I
picked up
guess.
one. Yeah, cannot see for the man that's on that podium, which is where Falco was. Now he gets outside and starts repelling. Now with Renshiro and Spoken above, Falco outside and Yogurt inside. It's a very tough hold. Easy peasy, looking for the retake, but needs to wait for his team. Yogurt on top, takes down Exclusive as he tries to rotate back through. Half of the time already gone now, and they've got to use 7 seconds for the defuse. They're slowly making it down. Yogurt is looking to collapse in on behind anyone trying to retake. Spoken's taking one more. Pojo does get a kill onto Spoken, but it is just a 1 consolation prize. Pojo's now been downed himself by Renshiro, and there it is, the final 2 kills. Falco with the last one gives Yunktis the round. They were slow and methodical about their attack. They did fall into the trap of the lobby being the easy take, and did go for the safer A-bomb site.
It was a nice defensive setup. They were really prepared for them to come in, but not prepared for that switch up, like you said. And then it was nice to see Pojo Man actually did rotate down, use that basement, like you mentioned, using the pulse from below after being pulsed from above. Making that change up helped. He got the one C4, but it wasn't the C4 that countered. He didn't get the guy playing the diffuser, or that might have gone a little bit better for them at the end. They might have had a chance to be able to do some damage, force them to try and get that diffuser again.
Yeah, smart play from Falco too, choosing that plant spot. That spot not being C4able up on the little podium. So even if he had picked the right man, the damage would not have been done.
That's the thing about those wooden floors, right? You got to use the sparse furniture that's there to make those plants.
So, time now for Yunktis to go back onto defense, and they're going into the garage again. They successfully held this the first time they did it, just because of the fact that FlipSid could not get inside their building. All 4 of the remaining players left alive after that initial spawn peak kept them locked in, and they couldn't move anywhere. Then Falco finally decided, as the last 15 seconds ticked down, he had enough. He jumps outside, shoots them all in the side of the head, with the Yogurts pushing down the white van as well.
I like to see some guys pushing Visa this time. Get down behind that cafeteria, maybe push some yellow stairs. Really get down behind him. Don't let him just hold the angles on that garage.
Spoken looking to peek out towards the police line. Nobody there. 6 Squad doing the same thing. 6 Squad looking out towards the front lobby as well. There you can see behind the desk.
Trying to use
The
that
2
door
of them
the
looking
other
towards
way.
the big doorway. There is a man out there. He is prone. There you see a couple of shots rattling off.
There
That's
we
his
go.
legs. Mint is the man.
Doesn't
Those shots
land
will
him.
dash around. 6 Squad takes no damage himself, but Mint now is going to be a little bit cautious. Falco and Renshiro on the floor above still. Yoga's still downstairs as the only man. But once again, FlipSid are going to be very, very scared getting themselves close to this building.
They're definitely trying to choose their attack spot wisely because of all these spawn peaks. Not an easy approach for them. But they are looking to bring that thermite to that garage door.
So they want to get him in, but they need to keep it safe.
They need to get rid of Falco this time. If they can get rid of Falco, they'll have a much better chance of making this work.
Yeah, right now they still don't appear to have droned him, don't have too much information on his exact location other than somewhere. Do get Pojo Man around towards the garage door, but he will now have to stop and drone for a little way and make sure surrounding area is clear for him. Careful of what's waiting on the inside. There isn't a bandit, there isn't any kind of mute, but the C4 from above, Renshiro taking them down from behind that car. Yeah, it has become such a standardized spot, such a very easy pre-practice C4 now. So once they knew Renshiro, once they knew Pojo Man was there, Renshiro takes him out preset.
Would have been better to hit Thermite, but hitting Blackbeard still does a lot of damage to a garage attack.
Yeah, especially with that car there. Now that the windows are penetrable, he can just sit behind it safely with his shield on and not worry about any shots coming his way. Grenades then coming into the garage will take down the barbed wire as the second charge goes off and opens up the other half of the wall.
Sensor deployed.
Now wait for anyone to peek and reveal themselves at the back of the white van, but Yogus is just comfortable sitting in. Another C4 comes out from the top floor. Falco missing his one this time around, but with a minute left on the clock, FlipSid are once again caught in this trap of being pinned outside garage with nowhere really to go.
Looks like they're just going to force them from windows as well, make sure that they just can't have an easy time out here.
Yunktis are actually still very much spread around the rest of the map. There's a lot of players up towards admin and Visa right now. But FlipSid don't really realize this and can't really seem to want to make the most of it. They could just rush in here and swarm the bomb site, but
The one time their 4-man right here could work, they're not using it.
no, Yogus does pick up the kill onto Easy Peasy, and that's going to make it tougher. Yogus still by the white van as Mint will trade Spoken out. And now trying to push on him with the diffuser, but Yogus is finally finished off by King George.
Good
This
push.
time he lasted longer than 30 seconds into the round. Inside the white kitchen though, King George peeks on out and easily Renshiro and 6 Squad mop up the remaining players, giving Yunktis another lead. 3 rounds to 2, holding their garage again.
It was starting to look strong with this crawl hole right here. Not just a little kill hole, but a full crawl hole. Definitely paid off for Yunktis having the ability to stop that. They thought they'd just walk clean up to it. I'm not sure what they were thinking in terms of not watching that. You saw Thermite just look away for a second. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but it really cost them just getting mowed down on that particular side of the white van.
Just playing it tight again. This time they did have Ash still alive to aggressively push him down and finish him off afterwards, but still couldn't follow it up afterwards. While King George was reloading, Ventura got a safe peek out with that shotgun shutter down. But now it's up for exclusive to the top floor again. They held this last time. FlipSid Tactics onto that top floor. But Yunktis have shown plenty of skill in learning and adapting round to round.
Now the question is, have FlipSid practiced defending against a different kind of attack? They've shown that they've been able to do that to an extent. We saw them do that with the wine cellar and garage on Chalet. But this is a little bit more variable in terms of the amount of rooms that could be attacked from. However, you know, being able to guard the standard places like the yellow stairs, the admin area, things like that. If you can hold those, that's a good majority of the attack that comes in, and then the Visa stairs.
So once again, cautious of the windows, the aggressive peeking out of those, and this front door being open. Spoken a little bit unsure about what's waiting for him as he comes down this way.
Good threat.
Just slowing down their approach towards the building a little way further.
That's what you want to do.
Was down in the basement with his heartbeat sensor up through the Visa floor, but no one's coming that way. It's just once again Ventura right up onto these beer windows and cautious of that garage door.
That's definitely where Blackbeard should be, but I do like the way Trinity or FlipSid played it a lot more, where you have him defend the admin area attack first. You have him just be a part of that, rotate over the roof, and then come to that B window afterwards. It's a good way to help your team get in, get some traction, and then be where you need to be, because you don't need to be there right away.
So Falco is going to go in through the basement, taking out that garage camera and the garage door. Give him an angle in there, or maybe come up underneath them from Visa or something on those lines. They know Mint to be tucked in this little side room. It is now reinforced off.
Not a lot of places you could hide in that room.
No, but with the grenades coming in,
that's going to hurt.
He's got to be cautious of it. There he goes. One goes off, and second one goes off. Mint shut down. Yogus giving them the way into B.
Blackbeard's just got to help them get in there.
Yeah, but just got to cover it. Someone could come in straight next to him. Falco's got the diffuser in hand. He's over by the yellow stairs.
There's almost never two people sitting in there.
It's not space for two people to sit in there.
Yeah.
So Falco is in now and he's on his way up towards them. They are dealing with the gauntlet of C4s and shotguns waiting for them. Inside the toilet is easy peasy lemon squeezing. He has eyes on that stairwell. Looking for them to try and come up that way. If they come up and come across him, he'll be ready. But Falco, unsurprisingly, he's gone up towards the windows and is rappelling his way up. Rappelling on in. Does take a very big beast of damage, but will be shut down after getting in. That's the diffuser now locked in the room. Ventura has gone in with him. 6 Squat now underneath. Bojo Man was not aware that they were going to come down for him, and it's an easy kill for 6 Squat. 3 versus 4 on the attack coming out of Yunktis. Ventura is inside the site with the diffuser now, but is very, very low. If he takes his shield down to defuse, he's going to have to be cautious of this peek from Valkyrie inside connector.
He needs to just get someone up there with him.
Yep, there they go. In comes Yogurt. 6 Squat is also on the window. There's going to be their cover. 6 Squat taking down easy peasy inside the toilet. Now Exclusive and King George are the only two standing.
Good
Exclusive's got to be cautious of the stairs, but Yogurt is going to see his feet while he does it. King George has got to peek around. The plant's going to come down. Now they're going to give it a go. Yogus comes around, takes down 1 kill onto Exclusive. While these two players are down, King George is the last man, and Ventura is ready for him after the plant. And Yunktis, you can hear them are happy.
Sure,
finally extending their lead 4 rounds to 2.
That was the adaptability we were hoping to see for them. Just picking them off one at a time, clearing out that room, doing some damage to it. It was a bummer to lose Buck behind that desk on that plant. But then changing up the plant location, saying, you know what, this is an angle I can plant safely from. I've told them I'm behind this desk. I'm suppressing them in the bathroom, suppressing them in that stairway, just making sure they can't push in. And all I got to worry about is the other person in the connector. I can plant here. The couch gives me a little bit of cover. It worked out really well. And then just finishing off those kills at the end.
Yeah, taking Mint down instead of letting him rotate through that trapdoor this time was a big deal. And it gave Yunktis the round. Now they're looking to defend the site themselves. FlipSid did attack it successfully last time over, but it's shown that Yunktis learned from FlipSid's strategies on this map. One to win their own attack here, and now have they learned enough to successfully hold off FlipSid's onslaught.
They're 2 up. If they could take this, then they take this particular map and 2 maps total.
Yeah, if they take this, they're into the final. They don't know yet whether they're up against Orbit or if they're up against Sisu.
10 seconds to insertion.
They're going to be watching that next game with bated breath all the same, and just getting into the final, of course, is going to feel great.
They are bringing that castle, and Frost, I think it was a little bit differently than what they were doing before. But it will be interesting to see how that actually slows down Trinity's attack, or FlipSid's attack, as they're not used to dealing with a lot of castle on the NA scene.
And the key thing here is that last time FlipSid got gifted a whole bunch of kills in the first 20 seconds of the round just because Yunktis weren't ready or locked. FlipSid got to the building a lot quicker than Yunktis were expecting. They were still running around and still exposed a lot more than they needed to be. Just caught massively by surprise and picked off, and that gave it a 5v2 push for the round. This time Yunktis are already in place and playing far more disciplined.
I'd almost like to see them play for retake, let them get in certain spots, just aggressively use those good roamers that they have to just push back hard, tear them apart.
Pojo Man with the first kill of the round once again, though, is on Trinity. He picked up 3 kills the last time they attacked this bomb site, coming from these windows again. Last time it was a pre-fired shot through the desk into Falco. This time around it's going to take him a little bit longer.
Hopefully he can take out Falco again as well, make this a little bit easier on him, as that roaming shotgun is going to be a little bit of a pain to deal with.
Yep, he is currently running around on the floors below, though.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
They're playing a little more cautiously, doing a little more droning this time.
Attackers have recovered the
Pojo Man should be looking to Spoken for the next man. Spoken there inside the kitchen.
A little dangerous repelling that high, of course, because you expose a lot of your body.
Does have to go and take out the frost traps, though. Gets them easily.
Good eye. You got to be watching out for those cameras in that room as well.
Minute 25 on the clock. They are playing this very slow and cautious right up the other end of the site still. Spoken is right close to easy peasy. He's only got one more grenade left. Where's he going to throw it into the toilet? Does blow up, but doesn't touch a soul. He's going to drone in after it. And realizing that the entire room is completely clear.
So close to seeing castle if you could just get around that corner.
Pojo an exclusive now inside the admin office, looking towards the A site, looking towards the top of Visa stairs. Flashbang's going off. Falco's come back up to join his team. Now the castle barricade is going to be safe. That flashbang bouncing off the back of Pojo Man's head, actually helping out the defenders. Falco coming around, takes exclusive down thanks to Renshiro, Pojo being blind. Does trade out one onto Spoken, but Falco's there to trade it. Falco will be traded by King George though, and it's back to a 3v2. Easy peasy, very, very low on health though, so this is still very tight here. 6 Court and Yugus once again up the far ends of the site. Ash charge inside the A site. Now 6 Court is exposed now behind the bomb itself. Gets into connector safely. Inside comes King George. Mint takes down Yogus. Now it's all onto 6 Court into the connector. Ashley's going to rush straight towards him. He actually gets away just at the last second. Now he takes down easy peasy. The plant's going down inside the site. Blows it off in case someone was pushing him. Mint's over the other side. King George is tight on his right hand side. Mint no hiding behind the bomb itself. They know they're going to sprint around the corner to his side, but he's out of ammo. Survives the first break, gets away with his pistol in hand. He might go for a reload. Yep, gets safely in towards the B side for the reload.
He had a hole there now.
He's got the time. Mint's to the far end of the corridor. He has his MP5K in tow, but Mint has an F2 Famous, and that is going to be better at range. King George drops below, using the smoke to get downstairs. Mint's the last man up top. He's going to come around the corner. Who gets the first shot? 6 Quart misses it. Pre-fires on the diffuser. He's going to sit right on top of it. 6 Quart taken down from underneath. King George keeping FlipSid in this for one more round.
Nice change up FlipSid. They had a very aggressive push there at the end. Took them a while to get in there and get it going, but Pojo Man starting off the kills from that window again. It's a good way to start that round, taking them down in numbers and then just making an aggressive push in. That Visa side is definitely a good place to attack from if you can get the attacking advantage, and winning those hallway fights really counts by the spiral stairs door at that desk.
Yeah, I didn't catch where all the reinforcements went from Yunktis, but I feel like they had a couple spare.
Yeah.
If those few spare had been along the backside of that A site, which is a very common thing to reinforce, that round could have gone very differently for them.
Yeah, letting Ash just tear up that whole wall. And then not even having the wall to connector from B side open for them to use. He might have been able to rotate around and do a nice flank there. Didn't give himself the opportunity, as he would have given his position away when he shot the wall.
Either way, Yunktis still have that 1 round lead, and are now on to defense again. They are defending the top floor site. Sorry, FlipSid are on defense again. They're defending the top floor site. Yunktis have to attack it. Last time around, they got into that B site after nading down Mint and really drove home their advantage with a very quick spree of kills afterwards.
We're going to have to see if Mint changes up his position this time. He's got to know that's coming. That's a common thing to do on that particular position. Although it is hard to adjust to a different position there because you're either stuck on one side of the wall or stuck on the other side of the wall. Because of that window, once Blackbeard gets on it, it's so hard to get him off. If they can kill Blackbeard, though, Mint can have a much better position in there.
So, Yunktis this time getting close and into the building pretty rapidly as they've realized that the Spawn peaks are no longer a thing. Mint playing a bit deeper inside the reception area this time around rather than inside that B site.
Good adjustment.
See whether or not it gets punished from a push up the other end, which, to be fair, it doesn't feel like it will do. Yunktis don't put a push on from the other end of the site. They're putting almost their entire pressure on these B windows and in from the garage stairs.
Yeah, they don't
which
care
is
much
what
for
allows
admin.
Mint to play that position.
It's good. I mean, if you know they're not pushing admin, you can allocate a lot more of your resources to defending the areas you need to. And assuming FlipSid are prepared for that, this could really go in their favor.
So he knows Mint is in, or someone was there by the connector, which is why he was cracking open the wall to one side and keeping his eye on the other side. What he didn't realize, though, is that meant that inside the B site was actually clear. He was still keeping eyes on that. Mint has now managed to back himself away, he proned away and got underneath the A connector window. Is now ducked and out of Renshiro's sightline. Question is, do they know? 6 Quart drones into the toilet, is killed off, so he knows there's a man in there. Renshiro unsure of where that man has moved to, still just eyeing up the A-bomb site.
Thermite needs to get his diffuser over here and get ready to plant it in that room, especially if that room's available to plant, and Blackbeard can cover him pretty well. 6 Quart, not sure how to go in. He wants to use the skylight to his advantage, open up a little hole, make sure it's safe in that corner first. As you mentioned before, with Mint hiding in that corner, they're worried that he might still somehow be there.
So, apparently Falco is stuck within his drone camera. We'll wait for the admins to sign off with an answer on that, but it does look like this round may be remade. They've got to play it out until the admins answer with that one, though. So,
burning
the
up
next
time.
minute of the round, treat this as live. Up on the windows, Falco actually he's still on his drone. Who is it that's stuck in his drone? Because Falco is firing it through that window. We'll wait and find out. They are certainly pausing up and waiting. There we go. The do back at that is still 4 rounds to 3. We do have to, of course, restart that round as is. One player stuck inside that drone. But
It's unfortunate.
ultimately, he was looking pretty good for FlipSid up until that point.
Yeah. I guess it'll be hopefully a beneficial timeout for Yunktis to actually recollect and go, you know what, maybe pushing off from that one side isn't working unless we actually get in there and do something about it.
So,
Hopefully we can get this sorted out real quick.
yeah, 31 seconds long. 4 rounds to 3, though, still the score in favor of Yunktis. All we need, though, is for FlipSid to bring in this one successful defense round to force an overtime on the 3rd and final map.
We've seen them be able to do that pretty much both maps. So I expect that if they play it tight, don't get thrown off by this rehost real quick, that they can do that, and then we will see it drawn all the way to a 5-6 or 6-5.
Yeah, if Oregon went all the way to a full 6-5, it would not be the biggest surprise in the world to see it happen here either, as long as they can continue the trend.
It all depends on whether or not either team loses the rhythm here. Obviously, if Yunktis are the one to regain the rhythm and FlipSid the one to lose it, then it's the end for them.
So, FlipSid obviously going to have to start off on defense. They are not obligated to take that same upstairs bomb site here, but I suspect they're going to, because it definitely seems to be their favored option.
It's definitely working out for them a lot better than the garage.
So they continue it out. Once again, we saw heavy pressure from one end only from Yunktis. So it's not the toughest spot for FlipSid to defend against when they know that it's coming that way. They just have to sit in more standardized spaces until they know that is the case. Then they can rethink about, okay, now that that's definitely what's happening, we can really look away. Like Mint did, drop down, went underneath, get ready for the C4 from below, proned himself away to safety, but was there just in case something else happened.
You know, if I was FlipSid at this point, I would maybe even break open that yellow stairs door early in the round. Leave it available. When you don't think they're watching, come out, shoot Blackbeard while he's hanging on those windows. Do that, and a lot of their attack falls apart, and all of a sudden they're having to scramble to find another way in because it's not safe to come in and plant that desk without Blackbeard there.
So we do have all 10 players back in the lobby. This time, of course, FlipSid are on orange. They are the defending team. Yunktis will be blue. Thanks to that rehost, they have to slightly switch up colors, but it's a nice, easy switch. Man in the switch, which gets the lights over and over. And as soon as the players are ready, they should be back in and good to go. Thankfully, it's a pretty rare bug, getting stuck in the cameras like that. So, to get through as many rounds as we have without it showing up, not too uncommon.
No, not too bad. Hopefully, they took that just moment to take a few sips of their energy drink, get pumped up again, get ready for a really, really good round because this could be the last one for them.
So here it is. We're going to load on in now. FlipSid Tactics have to win this round to bring it into overtime and to keep this game and their dreams alive. Yunktis only need this one round, this successful attack, to give themselves a space in the grand final. Our other two semi-finalists, Orbit and Sisu, and our Brazilian guests here, all thought Yunktis were going to take this early on.
They've got to be watching this closely.
Let's see whether or not they are as surprised by how well or how close FlipSid have fought.
Especially if FlipSid win this, then the other teams have really got to be watching this closely and thinking, we didn't expect this. All the predictions went to Yunktis. Maybe we need to be a little more prepared for how FlipSid are going to bring it.
So FlipSid do successfully choose this upstairs bomb site again. Nothing too crazy or surprising with that one. And begin their standardized defense setups of the upper floor. Once again, Mint was sitting there inside that B site, but close by. Casey had to turn tail and run away.
It'd be nice if one of them could even take control of Piano, be ready to C4 behind that desk if they do manage to get in. Like they had an easy way in last time. If they get in there, C4 the guy behind the desk, make it so Blackbeard has to go for that plant.
Pojo Man then once again downstairs in the basement with his pulse. Again, Renshiro goes straight up onto the windows of B. Gives himself an opening. Starts to look on his way in. Shots are rattling onto the window from below him as his teammates shoot it open for him, give him a tighter angle inside the A site. And once again, he's pinning to the left-hand side as he knows someone's probably in there. This time, once again, Mint is hiding close by, but not for long. He drops down through the trapdoor, gets down into the floor below, and runs away from 6 Quartz drone down the spiral staircase.
I guess maybe he even wanted to just look like he was going to be there, make him waste the time trying to find him, just drop down and get away.
Yeah, shots rattling in from the skylight as well to the similar spot. A lot of the players here for the defending team are actually quite away from the bomb sites at the moment. Down in the basements, down at the bottom of the spiral staircase. Pojo Man down there now with Mint as well.
Yeah, maybe they're just going to go for that retake. Let him try and get in, let him make that, attempt that plant, stop the plant, and then just tear apart their attack. That's assuming that that's what they're planning, of course.
Yeah, still sitting here on this window then, checking the spot behind the A-bomb, checking the top of the spiral stairs, just waiting for someone to step out a bit more than they need to. Not going to happen though. King George still staying comfortably inside A above the trapdoor, and once again, Yunktis putting all their pressure on this B site and on these back windows.
It's not doing a lot for them right now as they're not really gaining any ground from it. They're already got a minute 30 left.
But what they are doing is pushing FlipSid off and away from it. If they can get in there now, FlipSid have got to retake the site, and that is no easy task.
No, that's what you got to be prepared for, though, as they are able to get in pretty easily most of the time, it seems like.
Defending players don't really have a whole lot of utility for retakes. Pojo Man does catch 6 Quad on the stairs, misses the initial shots, but will not get the trade afterwards. Pojo Man goes down, but he takes 6 Quad very, very low. Either way, he's still alive. He's still got that gun in hand, so it is a 5v4 now. 6 Quad, the man with the diffuser, though, is very, very easy to shut down. Without that pulse, though, they're going to have a tough time finding where it is he's going to plant inside the site if he goes for it.
If they could take a few shots on him, take him down, that would definitely help their attack, or the defense.
Spoken now, taking his spot on the stairs, looking for the next player to come around that angle. As it is, someone has dropped down outside and might even be able to... Yoga's actually repelling up to the wall above, does touch the backside of this Rook and starts taking his feet down. Finishes him through the wall as Falco gets one. Spoken grabs one as well, and it's all on King George TV. He's 1v5, and this is going to be it. Falco and team Yunktis are going to head towards the finals unless King George can do something godlike here.
Come on, King George.
25 seconds. All he's got to do is stop the plant. If he can hold it out for this long, can he find the man with the diffuser? He finds one. It's Spoken. That's not the diffuser, though. Shots are rattling across, and there's Yogas with the final kill. Yunktis are going to the grand final.
Very nice strike.